Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. Tonight, we are playing an old favorite entitled Camp Sunny. It was written by Paul Fricker and Mike Mason, and it's available as a free scenario download from the Chaosium website. This will be the third time that we've run this. I will be the GM, so without any further delay, let's begin our journey into the darkness. It's been a good semester, but the workload has been tough. Despite the huge amount of studying you still have on your plate, you have decided that a break away from the stress of college is what the doctor has ordered. So you went online to find a cheap place to stay for a few days. It's the off season and the cabin rates are reasonable. You find one that looks good, Camp Sunny, a small quiet resort in the Great Lakes, exactly what you were looking for. You called and spoke to one of the owners, Miss Cordelia Maris, and made reservations for a couple cabins. You packed up the SUV, gathered your friends, and you were on your way. The six of you have traveled north for about 100 miles when the damned SUV starts to overheat. You pull into a gas station along the way and you refill the water in your radiator. And after you've allowed it to cool for a bit, you bought some snacks and drinks and you were off again. But the engine keeps overheating. You decided to take it easy and continue your journey, but only at about 40 miles an hour. Of course, it's dark by the time you arrive. In fact, it's quite late. And the last bit of the journey was not quite what the GPS had indicated. But eventually, you see the camp sign over the entrance, and you know you're there. It's just past 11 p.m. when you pull in and park next to the reception building. As you stop the engine, it coughs one last time and dies. You groan as you realize that you are going to have to deal with the SUV problems tomorrow. You all have sports bags with your clothing. You have snacks and a case of beer in the SUV. You head to reception. It's a single-story building with rustic design. There's a porch light and a couple lights on inside. Just inside the door, there are a couple of chairs and a counter behind which is a door leading to the office. Next to a mirror is a sign reading, opening time 7 a.m. There is a little counter stand with camp maps that look like they were printed years ago. On the counter is a little black button and a sign that reads, "If unattended, please press the button for service." So, what do you do?
Oh, God, what a trip. Nate, what kind of beer did you bring?
Nothing but the best Bush Light.
Oh, you're my hero. Let's get checked in and crack those open.
Yeah, I'll head towards the counter and...
You hit the button, you don't hear anything, but you imagine that somewhere in the world, a bell is ringing. The room is a little chilly. It's the off season. There's a little bit of dust on things. Doesn't look like they've had many people. The back office is, of course, all the lights are off except for the one sort of porch light. And as I said, there were some brochures in the thing. Do you want to do anything while you're waiting?
I think I walk up next to JoJo and kind of lean in, put my arm around, hit the button a couple more times when nobody's come. Kind of lean over, look, see if I can see anything behind the counter, or
No, there might be ledger and things like that, but just
Okay.
stuff that you'd expect to see there.
Yeah.
So
I'm going
after-
to gently pull away Jojo from Phil. Hey,
Yeah.
let's check out these brochures. We're finally here. Maybe we can go hiking, or maybe there's a ropes course. I'm gonna pick up a brochure.
Sure,
All right.
sure. I try to dislodge myself from Phil.
You pick up a brochure, and this is what it looks like. You can see that you were at the parking lot. You were at the office. There is a restroom around the back side of the office. There's a swimming pool, clubhouse, and there are cabins. There's beach access, and there are picnic areas, and that's about it. There is a private residence, and since Maris is listed, that was Cordelia's last name. So that is who you would expect to see.
Oh, they've got boats.
Yeah, let's try to get cabins 9 and 10. That'd be pretty sweet. Looks like those are closest to the trail of the beach.
So if no one's still coming, I think I'm leaning over, like looking, like Nate, get my legs. I'm like looking for keys. I was like, no one's going to help us. I'm going to help myself to get whatever cabins we want.
Okay. You
All
don't
right.
see anything like that on the other side of the cabin, but why don't you guys do listen rolls?
Ooh.
That's a pass for me. 38 out of 40.
Well,
That's a failure.
Fast.
Those of you who
Yeah,
passed, as you're standing there, you start to hear what sounds like feet, probably boots on a gravel path. And it's coming from kind of it's a thin building. So you can hear through it. Coming around behind the building, you can sort of, through the little glass window into the office, you can see a door open, and then the lights flip on. And a gentleman steps inside. He's dressed in flannel. He walks up, he opens up the door in between and steps out to help you. And he says, how are you? You made it. You're kind of late from what you said.
I
Yeah, sorry.
Shove myself off the counter, back on my feet on the right side.
Okay.
Right there, bud.
Now, in this moment, this game has an interesting mechanic. I want to give you your first impressions. What I'm going to do is I am going to put them in the chat area for each one of you. So give me a moment to do this for each of you.
I push myself off. I kind of straighten my shirt a little bit.
I'm gonna crack open a cold bush latte. You want one, Phil?
Oh yeah.
The man introduces himself as Harold Maris. Harold Maris.
Well, yeah. Hello, Harold. We had a little bit of car trouble on our way, so arrived later than we wanted to. We were kind of hoping to get most of the day to get out on the beach or the boats or something.
He says, "Oh, you had some car trouble, huh?"
Yeah. Speaking of that, is there a shop or anything nearby? I mean, I don't want to deal with it tonight, obviously. Probably
Not
wanna-
really nearby, but we can put in a phone call for a mechanic to come out tomorrow.
Could you do that?
Indeed.
Appreciate it, Harold.
Sure. Which car is yours? Well, there's not much out there. There's only a couple of cars.
It's that SUV.
The SUV. All right. Well, let's see. I've got you set up for cabins 3 and 4.
oh, 3 and 4. Thank you.
All right. It's no 9 and 10, but I'll take it.
I see off season, so those are the cabins that we fixed up for you to make sure they're clean and neat.
That's fine. I was just busting your chops.
Do you have
So-
a lot of other campers here?
Not a lot. There's a family and a couple here and there.
I mean, by any chance, can we trade for 9 and 10?
Well, it's late at night and the rooms aren't that clean.
No, 3.
And we're college students.
Oh, come on, three and fours. The beds are made up. We got
Rhino,
beer.
let's not trouble
Yeah.
Harold.
So you worked here long, Harold?
A family business, yes. My
Family
father's
business.
before us.
Oh, nice.
So here are your keys. And he hands you guys each a key. And he says, here's a brochure, and he hands you the same brochure that you were looking at. And he points out where the cabins are and where the restrooms are. And he says, you want me to walk you over there? Or
Yes, please.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
please.
if you don't mind, yeah.
all right. So he locks things back up again and says, well, come on. And he starts asking you questions. So where are you going to school? What sort of things are you interested in? What are you studying in school?
Oh, I'm studying history. You mind if I hold on to your arm? I'm a little unsteady. I don't want to trip over anything. Yeah.
Sure. He sort of puts his hand on yours as he
Thank you.
walks along.
I watch Charlie closely. I try to stay close to them.
I hang back, lean into Nate. I'm like, you smell that guy? Smells like feet.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near him. I don't know why Charlie's leaning so close to him.
Smells like that guy Pete's feet back at school.
So
don't get me started on him.
So he follows you. You've seen the thing. He follows an interesting path. Maybe he's trying to show you around a bit. But he comes left around the office with the six of you, in between the pool area and the office. And he points over at the pool and he says the pool is closed. It hasn't been cleaned in a while.
Oh man, I was excited for that.
I mean, seems like not cleaning things is kind of business as usual here.
He kind of glances into it like, yeah, it needs a good cleaning. We usually clean it up before the summer.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
That makes totally sense. Yeah.
So he then walks up, and you're walking next to the clubhouse. So now you're between the clubhouse and the pool. He does something really, really weird. Maybe he's just familiar or friendly or whatever, but he sort of bangs on the window of the clubhouse. And he says, "That's the clubhouse. There's games in there, and people use it for events if they're going to have an event."
Oh, we could have like a little party in there. We could have some dancing and all. I bet you're a wonderful dancer.
Dancing, yeah.
Is there a pool table? I got
no, nothing like that. It's mostly just a big old empty room. There's a little sort of kitchenette in one side.
Well, Phil, if there's
if we get a bunch of kids for the staff to cook for them.
If there's a foosball table,
there's nothing like that. But we do have an assistant, a caretaker, a lady who you'll see is an old lady. You see her every once in a while cleaning up stuff. Just ignore her.
Oh,
any ping pong tables or?
No tables. Sorry.
Is there a table at all? Like regular table?
There's a folding table.
Oh, okay. So we can play cards. I mean, this point.
Yeah, at least we got a place to put our beer.
Yeah. Thumb over at Nate. I got $50 to win back from this piece of shit somehow.
So you come around the side of the clubhouse and you get to the place where you can see the place where the cabins are going off, but you're going to also see the playground. It's a kid's playground, but it's overgrown with weeds and it's a little overdone. Once again, he's like, it's the off season. We're not going to upkeep it through the off season. And he walks you down to the end of the cabins. And he gets you situated at cabin 3 and 4. Both of them are identical. They both have little porches. These cabins are raised up off the ground by about 2 feet with log pileasters underneath them. So there's a couple steps up onto a little porch. The porch is covered so that you can sit out here if it's raining. There's a couple of chairs there. He opens them up, and inside there are 3 beds. They're fairly small beds. They've just got mattresses on them, and the mattresses are foam rubber, so they're only about 4 inches thick, but you're supposed to put your sleeping bag on top of those. And there's a window in the back, and there's a window on the side, just regular old standard like Home Depot windows that are installed. Other than that, the room is, it's fairly decent. The temperature, there is a temperature gauge on the wall, so somewhere there's a temperature, a heater.
Huh.
And he says, "Well, have fun."
Thank you.
Thanks, Harold.
If you need anything, we'll be in the office in the morning, or my sister will be. I'll be later in the afternoon.
Oh, your sister. Is that at the Cordelia?
That's Cordelia, yeah.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Good to know.
And he stops for a moment. He looks around, and everyone do a psych roll.
Oh, I passed. Regular.
Oh, wow.
Did you say psych?
Yeah, psychology.
I passed 07 on 10.
Okay.
right,
And
I'm gonna-
03,
Yeah,
that's
failed.
an extreme, I think.
I'll spend 1 point.
Yeah.
To make it a 30.
There's an odd look in this guy's eye, especially when he's looking at Allie and Joanne and Charlie. Charlie was rather familiar with him, and he kind of liked that. But when he looks at the dudes, you get the weird impression that he's sizing you up, because he's giving you the same sort of weird smile, and then he walks away into the dark, and he's heading back in that direction.
What do you reckon, gals? Quite the Casanova, that guy.
Oh man, he was delightful. He smelled of sandalwood by Tim McGraw.
No.
What? No, we're talking about the same guy.
I think he looks pretty nice.
I was closest to him.
You should take notes, Rydell.
He was disgusting.
I guess we were downwind of his feet because it's awful.
Man, the guy looked like he freaking ate 3 cheeseburgers every day for 2 months straight.
Yeah. He's a long walk away from a heart attack.
Yeah, he smelled like you put a bunch of pigs through a paper mill.
Oh, you boys, man! One day you'll grow out of your jealousy.
Are we seeing the same person?
I hope
I'm real
so.
jealous of that guy.
Throw me a beer, Nate. Let's get. We got here late. Not too late though, not to get started.
Oh yeah.
One, too.
Well, if you got any
our cabin?
if you got a particular hankering to put yourself into more debt, we can play blackjack, Phil.
Feeling lucky tonight. I got my good luck charm JoJo with me.
I'm gonna need a few
Yeah,
more beers.
I'm going
forget
to distance myself a little bit from Phil.
it. Don't worry about it, Phil. She'll come around.
Yeah.
There is also out just down from your porch, right in front of your cabin, there is a little small fire pit. Like if you wanted to, it's one of the metal rings sunk in the ground with a little bit of a grill on top, just so that you could, not a big bonfire pit, but a little tiny pit for heating up coffee or.
Hell yeah! Has anyone got any brats?
I think we brought some.
Yeah, but I was just gonna have a couple beers and just relax. First,
I mean,
I'm gonna get my stuff
Live a
in.
little.
I could go for a broad. I've been just chips and jerky the whole way up here.
Mm.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, I can.
Hope we're not staying in the same room.
Well, how did you want to divide that up? 3 beds in each cabin, men in one, the women in the other, or?
I was gonna put a sign outside my cabin that reads "No girls allowed."
Yeah, that's very much you. Yeah.
Yeah. A crushing blow to all of womanhood.
I kind of look and try to get a feel from JoJo what she wants.
Yeah, I think I'll go with the girls to our cabin, and yeah.
All right.
And it worked.
You've got a little bit of unpacking to do.
Yeah, I go get my bag.
We'll see you in the morning then.
Yeah.
It's getting
I'm
late.
gonna go get the fire started.
Yeah, if we're gonna sit out, I mean, come on, you might as well join us. I mean,
Oh, I'll be back.
We'll see how we're feeling.
After the
Yeah.
drive, I care for a little bit of privacy, to be honest. It was 8 hours.
Good drive. Yeah.
Probably not that many, but yeah. Okay.
I
All right,
kinda-
I'll go grab all the bags and I'll bring them to the cabin.
Okay.
kind of
I
catch
assume
up
you
to-
probably brought them with you, so that's cool. You
Extra
might
bags,
have to make
cooler
two
stuff.
trips. Yeah, you might have
Yeah.
to take 2 trips.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I'll try to catch up to JoJo before she makes it inside.
Yeah. I'll turn
Hey.
around.
What's going on? I thought this was all about reconnecting for us. You know, kind of keeping my voice down so Nate's not hearing any of it.
What do you mean? This is about getting some rest from studying, right?
Yeah, but I thought it was, you know, we were taking one last shot at this, try to really connect, you know. I'm not saying sleep in the same room, but you know, come out around the fire and, you know.
I'm just a little bit tired. Maybe we can sort this out in the morning.
Okay, I'm trying. Okay, just I'm trying. I'm really trying.
Yeah. I'm going to observe and see.
I've quit going out to the bars most nights. I'm, you know, putting myself out here for you. So,
Okay. I thank you, Phil. That is very nice.
okay, now, well, I guess get some rest, and you know, I'll lean in for a peck on the cheek.
Yeah, it'll have to be a hug, and
Oh.
So it sounds like, Joanne, that you're going to go get some sleep.
yeah,
Okay.
if I can sleep.
Yeah. Allie, what are you going to do?
Well, as soon as Phil leaves, I'm going to say, you go, JoJo. I know you can do so much better than that. But Harold, he was kind of cute.
Oh, you're telling me.
Yeah,
Man, I could just get lost in those eyes.
they're so dreamy.
Oh, wow.
Very
Wow.
blue.
Yeah, it's so blue. I mean, if all the men from the Upper Peninsula are like this, call me a Youper. Is that what they call it? Because I might just move up here.
Well, you're free. You don't. You're single, right?
I am. But it's been a while since I've dated a man. You know, Barbara and I broke up recently, but you know.
I'm sorry to hear about that.
Oh, I told her if she couldn't take me home to meet her parents, I wasn't going to be with her. And
Yeah.
now it looks like maybe that was the right decision because there's strong men up here. So maybe I'll go explore the other side again.
Good for you, Charlie.
Hmm.
You're
Should
heading
we
back
all
out to the
use
fire.
this-
Oh, yeah. What's that, Jojo?
I just wanted to say that we should all use this time for us to relax and make the best of it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I could relax in Harold's arms. That's for sure.
Allie
Sorry.
and Charlie, are you going to go head back out to the fire, or are you also?
Yeah, I'm going to go out sit by the fire. They got some beers out there, so.
Rydell, Phil, and Nate, are you going to sit around the fire then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm gonna bring the bags or all of the rest of the stuff to the cabins, and then yes,
Okay.
fire.
So we'll say that by 11:45, you've got all your stuff in your rooms, and JoJo has gone in to go to sleep, and the rest of you are lighting a fire and you're sitting out there. You said something about brats. You're going to roast them with sticks over the fire. All right. Jojo, do a Constitution roll. You should do it with a bonus. You can do it with a bonus.
Since it's my first time, how does a bonus dice work?
A bonus dice means roll 2 times and take the better roll. It's as simple as that.
So 59 in the first one, 93 in the second one. So I guess I take the 59.
Yeah.
That's a pass, just
barely.
Yeah.
All right. So you managed to fall asleep fairly quickly. You're tired here. You had an exciting day. And
I'm hoping to dream of Harold.
Oh,
well, and the sound of the outdoors, permeates everything. You can hear chirping and crickets, and it's very peaceful sounding. And you can hear the occasional laughter from your friends outside, sitting around the fire, and you drift off to sleep. The 5 of you, you're sitting there for a while. You're laughing, you're reminiscing, and you're probably drinking a little. About 1 o'clock in the morning. So you've been out there for an hour and a half, and you're getting tired.
Yeah.
You start to notice that you can hear music coming from somewhere. Like it sounds almost like big band music. From the 40s. It's odd. Why don't you guys do spot hiddens?
Sounds like a wedding reception or something.
Made it.
Nope.
a wedding reception. I mean,
Fail.
Fail.
Okay. Anybody pass?
I passed.
Okay. So you guys are all sitting there looking around. It just happens that one of you who passed is sitting in such a way around the fire that you got kind of a look down the cabins back towards the office, and you can see that the lights are on in the clubhouse.
Oh, shit, guys, look. Clubhouse is open. Party over there.
oh yeah, we could go listen to all our old favorites like the Boogie Woogie Bugle Man or whatever.
hell yeah.
You know what's better than this beer? Other people's beer.
That's
every-
right. We get the rest of our beer for later.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's old people music.
Then
What-
maybe they don't notice that we come in and crash their party and drink up a lot of their beer.
I heard
Hell
old-
yeah.
What's the chance that what am I saying? There's definitely a chance. Let's go.
Yeah.
That sounds
Yeah.
dumb. I'm going back to the cabin.
Oh, come
Allie,
on.
come on.
Whatever, Allie. Come
Fine.
on.
Live a little.
Oh,
I mean, we skipped classes for this. If you're going to take an F on an assignment, take that F in the
I
right
actually
way.
did all my work in advance, unlike
Oh,
you.
come on.
You got to live it up. Listen, once you graduate and you become a doctor, say goodbye to anything like this.
mm,
Fine, I'll check.
Go
it.
ahead. I'll put
All
out the fire.
yeah.
Okay.
I thought she was going to put on her sackcloth and show us how much she's suffering.
So you walk down the path back towards the clubhouse. You can see that the lights are on. They're kind of muted lights because there are curtains in the clubhouse windows that are all drawn. As you approach, you can see shadows moving against the windows. It looks kind of like you'd expect, a party to look from the outside. You can't actually see anything inside. For one thing, this building is also raised up about 2 feet on logs, so the
Mhm.
windows are kind of high. But there's an entrance at both ends, one facing the pool and one facing the playground. Which
All
one
right.
did you want to go to?
Well, before we go in, I'm going to go water a tree, boys.
Oh, man.
Ugh.
There is a restroom in the clubhouse.
All right. Well, let's say I use that.
Okay, well, you're going to do that when you get there.
Okay. All right, so I'm thinking the one by the. You said one by the playground, one by the pool.
Right. Those are the entrances to the clubhouse.
Whichever one was closest to us. I can't remember the map. So
That's the playground. So.
Playground.
Yeah,
We'll go to the playground.
Let's go to
Okay.
the playground.
Let's wait for just a second until Nate comes back.
I keep trying to tiptoe.
I don't know if he actually had to go water a tree.
I think he did. When he got up, I was like, "Wow, that's really dedication to."
Guys, they're marking their territory.
Somebody, Charlie, let me lift you up and try to look in one of these windows.
Don't be looking at my skirt.
I'm not going to lift you that high.
Actually, I'm a pretty big girl. I got a size of 70, so.
Well, I've got a size of 75, so.
Yeah, but it's your strength that matters.
I've got a strength of 75 too.
Okay, yeah, you probably. All right. Thanks for posting the map there, Alex. So I can actually look at it. We're in cabins 3, 4. Okay.
Party time.
We waited for you for just a minute. All right. So you said the playground side, did you say?
Yeah.
All right. You go over there and the door, you can see the doors to the clubhouse. They're glass, like a glass doors.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that they go right into like a little ante room. And then there are double doors going into the main body of the clubhouse. It's more or less a place where you can put your boots and your jackets and stuff like that. I would like you all to do stealth rolls.
Cool.
You're not trying to be stealthy, but I'd like you to do stealth rolls anyway.
Fast. Regular.
So some of you managed to step up the steps and onto the porch and open the door without making any noise. From your perspective, you can hear, hustle and bustle and noise going on. You can hear the music playing rather loudly. But as a couple of you've stepped up onto the porch and you start to come into the antechamber, and the floor creaks loudly. And when it does, there is, it almost is a sound like somebody had a huge tarp and they were unruffling it. You hear that sound, the lights go out, and the music stops.
Oh, be very, very quiet. We're crashing a party.
Maybe they think it's a surprise party and they're just not very good at it.
I bet it's a surprise party.
At 1 a.m.?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. What more surprising time could there be?
Right?
Seems pretty dead here.
I'm gonna check it out. Grab the door.
Come on, Phil.
You pull open the door to the main body of the place, and it's completely empty. There's nothing inside.
What the hell? Where's the Victrola?
Step in.
Nate, do a spot hidden. There are light switches on the wall.
Yeah, I'll hit those.
I failed.
The lights come on. Well, once the lights come on, you can see that there's a radio over at the, like on a table over by the wall.
Well, maybe it's on one of those like timers, and we just happened to get here when the timer turned off.
I walk over and
The lights went off too.
to flip it on. See if it's the same music.
Turn on the radio. It is.
Yeah.
It's tuned to that station.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's do the Charleston.
Guess we were just hearing the radio. Turn around, just kind of do a look around the room. Just see what's in it.
But you said, Keeper, that when through the windows, like they were curtained, but it looked like there were shadows and stuff, like a
Like there were
Oh.
people walking.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I could have swore that there was movement going on. I mean,
Is there anywhere somebody could have gone that we can't see, like another room? Maybe they scurried away.
It's, to give a description, it's a large rectangle and there's a door at either end going into those little sort of mud rooms, and then outside there's no other doors. There's no other rooms. There is a bathroom, but the bathroom is to the outside, not to the inside of the building. The room doesn't feel like, I mean, there's a little bit of a chill in the air because this time of year. The room doesn't feel like it was heated. It feels just about the same as the outside. However, it's clean. There's no dirt on the floor or dust.
Well, these are the quickest, sneakiest old people I've ever seen.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
This is kind of creepy.
Creepy.
Whose idea was this?
We just heard the radio is all. Just heard the radio.
I still think this was a good idea.
Oh, yeah.
We got a radio now.
Yeah.
We can't take. Well, maybe we could, but I don't know if we want to. Maybe on the last day we'll take it.
I mean, I don't want to. I'm just looking to take it back around the fire.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I like that idea.
Play some Skinnerd.
Yeah.
All right. Is that what you want to do then?
Right. I'm heading back to the cabin then.
Yeah. I'll walk over and I'll unplug the radio and it's coming with us.
Okay.
Oh, if it's a plug-in one, I don't know if we'll get it around the campfire. We'll give it the old college try.
We'll figure it out.
Oh.
Okay. Well, you do manage. You can plug it in just inside your cabin. Jojo, you can do another Constitution roll to see if the music wakes you up.
I passed with 60 of 60.
Okay. I think that you're quite comfortable sleeping, so you don't notice the song. So you guys play for a little while longer. You're excited and you're freaked out. But eventually you start to get tired.
Yeah.
If you're going to want to get up and play tomorrow and do stuff.
Exactly.
So, Phil, what's gotten into the missus?
I don't know. Crack another beer. I thought the whole trip was all about reconnecting and giving it one last go, but I don't know. She's really cold. Don't want to be around me. I mean, I tried putting my arm around her little PDA, and she just I don't know, mixed signals, I guess, from what we talked about and getting here.
Well, get a few beers in us, play a few card games, forget all about it.
I'm not going to sweat it. I'm going to give it a go. If it doesn't work out, I mean, we're at O'Malley's every night again, right?
O'Malley's Bar, my favorite.
You too. I'm going to bed. Thanks for the beer, Nate.
Oh, come on, Charlie. Stay up a little longer.
Oh, I was thinking about it, but I am looking forward to tomorrow. I think that's going to be a good one.
Take another beer. Oh, it's already open.
I failed my power check, so yeah, I read. All right,
Yeah.
Have another one.
All right. Eventually, you all go to bed. A little drunk. All right, we'll move ahead. 6 a.m.
Question, Tom?
Yeah.
Was my mission successful?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't notice. You can text her. All right. Of course, she's asleep. Actually, I'm going to have to ask you, Rydell, how you're going to do that.
All right.
'Cause
So
she's in the girls' cabin.
all right. I texted this quite a while ago. Back when they were going to the
Sorry, I didn't
place.
see it.
And so the idea was, I said, all right, I'm going to make sure the fire doesn't spread or until I get the okay and go ahead. Then I'm just going to grab one of the bratwursts and take it to JoJo.
Okay. So at some point last night, before you fell asleep, Jojo, he brought you a bratwurst.
That's awfully nice of you, Rydell. But
Yeah, I didn't want you to be left out.
Yeah,
I know you
I sit
and,
up in my bed.
Phil have been having some problems.
Well, I mean, if he can't make up his mind what is more important to him, partying with Nate or being in a relationship, then I really can't help him.
Anyways, I'll let you sleep for now. Just good night.
Thank you.
So Rydell leaves and everything happens. You eventually fall asleep, Jojo. So 6 o'clock in the morning, Jojo, you wake up. You're quite refreshed. The air is fresh. The sound of the morning. Everybody else is completely sound asleep and snoring. You figure that they probably stayed up and drank. What do you want to do?
I check if everybody is okay in the cabin.
They all seem to be. They all seem to have
Okay.
gotten to bed.
And then I'll take maybe half of the bratwurst. And I haven't finished everything last night. Just ate a little bit for Rydell that he knows that I appreciate it. And then I bring it outside and I try to sneak so that I don't wake the others.
They don't seem to be. They seem to be completely sound asleep.
Okay. Yeah, I still try to be.
You can see that there is a restroom down towards the end of the cabins. I mean, literally, you are at the end of the cabin. So if you need to do your morning routine, brush your teeth, and so forth, I would like you to do a spot hidden.
94. No.
94. No. Well, then I'll leave you with this. As you are finishing up and you are leaving the bathroom to walk back towards the cabin, you get the odd feeling that somebody's around here. That sort of on the back of your neck feeling like somebody's watching you, but you don't see anybody.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely stand and look if I'm a little bit more in the open on the way. And
Nothing.
I'll check the door of the boys' cabin.
Let's see. I'm gonna roll luck. They locked it. So
Okay, good. So it's not them stalking us in the morning or stuff like that.
no.
No girls allowed.
Yeah, that's completely fine.
So we'll assume then too that you go back to your cabin. Everybody's still sound asleep. You put your clothes on, and what would you like to do?
I think I'll take a walk across the beach.
Okay.
I have to orient myself a little bit, but yeah.
Right. And you can see that there's a path that leads back past that same restroom and around the picnic area down towards the beach. The woods are where I've placed the woods. They're fairly thick, but you can see the picnic area has a couple of benches, and it's got some barbecue fire pits that where you guys can barbecue. You can see towards the left as you're approaching the beach that the camp sort of sits up on a bit of a rise. So to the left, you can see there are cliffs that drop right down into the water, but where you are, it's sloping gently down towards the beach. It's a sandy beach. It's not like an ocean beach, but it's a little bit more pebbly and rocky. But it's a good wide beach. There's lots of there will be lots of sun, towards the middle of the day. Right now, the sun is low, but the Lake Superior looks beautiful, and you look out at it and you can't see the other side, which gives you a weird feeling if you've never seen that before for a lake. And the water is gentle. It's just lapping up, on the shore. You can see way down at the other end of the beach, all the way down at the other end, where it gets cliffy again. There's like a boathouse, and there's a dock that sticks out into the water a little bit. You don't see any boats, but they might be.
Okay. Yeah, then I'll take a stroll towards the boathouse.
Okay.
And just try to enjoy the nature.
The nature, the chilly fog, maybe a slight mist or fog, but very, very, very nice. I mean, it's very pleasant. It's not too cold.
Okay.
All right, the 5 of you, I would like you to do Constitution rolls to see who wakes up. If you pass, you wake up.
Pass.
Hard.
Fail.
Also pass.
Fail.
So the girls are waking up. Phil, you've woken up. How about you, Nate? Did you
I
pass?
failed my roll.
Okay. So Rydell and Nate are just sprawled there on their beds. But Phil, you wake up. And let's assume that you all sort of want to do your morning routines. So the girls head into the girls' restroom, and Phil goes into the other. You see each other for a little while. Allie and Charlie, you both notice that the JoJo is not there.
Yeah.
Well, she did go to sleep earlier. Maybe she's somewhere around this place.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's not like her to, go wandering off too far. And besides, where are you going to go? Like, into the lake?
Maybe she's near the lake. Are you down for a morning swim? Maybe we can ask Harold to be the lifeguard.
Oh, yeah. I bet that lake's cold, but yeah, he could warm you up. He said he worked the afternoon shift, though. I want to be rested up for when he gets back on on schedule.
Idea.
Yeah.
All right. Rydell and Nate, you eventually start to wake up. You wonder where everybody is.
So are we alone in here?
Yes.
Okay. How'd Phil go? Well,
Woken up first.
Rydell, bit of the hair of the dog that bit you.
What?
Bush latte to wake up?
Come on, we just woke up, man.
All right. Well, I guess I'm day drinking alone.
And that's going to give you kidney disease in five years.
So I got 5 more years to live it up.
How many beers did you guys bring?
I thought we only brought like a 6-pack.
Well, yeah, we weren't able to steal any from the old people. Maybe I should take it easy.
Let's just say you brought 24
Sounds good.
each. All right. So you're all sort of meeting each other, except for Jojo, who's down at the beach. You're meeting each other outside.
Grab a beer as I get back to the cabin.
Bathroom.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So who's making breakfast?
I'll make some breakfast.
I already drank it.
Oh, ooh,
Having breakfast here.
wow. You guys are hardcore.
It's vacation.
Yeah, I hear you. Wow.
Vacation.
My
We thought I'd
nutritionist
fun.
friends aren't going to like you.
We will assume too that you guys have a cooler with stuff for breakfast, bacon
Yeah.
and stuff.
Listen, Allie, I barely like me.
I can see that.
Allie, do you want to try to make breakfast on the little thing in front of the cabin, or do you want to go over to the picnic area nearby and
I'll go to
Use
the
the cooler.
picnic area south of the beach
okay,
because something to support this frying pan I brought.
all right.
Get some help carrying some stuff, Allie.
Yeah, please.
You'll take the biggest items and start bringing them.
All right. So you go over to the picnic area and you start setting up. You start getting ready to cook. The two of you can do spot hidden rolls.
Got a 50.
Okay. You can see
Good.
Jojo down on the beach walking.
Is she close to us, or is this far
No,
away?
not really. I mean, she's ways over there. If you yelled really loud, she'd probably hear you.
I'll yell really loud.
Okay.
Over
I'll
here.
Wave with
I-
my 70 size.
I'll head over to them, but
Okay. So you go and join them. Eventually, I mean, what are the other guys doing? Are you going to eventually join them for breakfast?
Oh,
I think
yeah.
so.
Yeah.
All right. So you all end up in the picnic area south of the beach, having a nice breakfast. She's made coffee. She's made eggs and bacon.
Huh.
What are you guys talking about?
What do we want to do? I definitely want to go swimming, maybe in the afternoon.
I think we should get on some boats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to get as far away from that Herald guy as I can. I can still
What?
smell.
What is your
Yeah, that-
deal with
What about the
Come on.
car, the vehicle?
Oh,
Yeah.
Harold's gonna call someone. I assume when they show up, they'll come retrieve us.
yeah, he seems like the caring guy.
I could probably start fixing it a few days before.
Harold seems like is being paid to take care of us kind of guy.
Yeah, we'll let the mechanic deal with him. Phew.
I mean, if Rydell is having a look, I'm all for it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I think Rydell's might be good with the vehicle. Save some trouble, save some time, save some money.
Whose vehicle is it? Do we know whose it is?
Yeah, it's prepared. Wasn't it just a rental?
Was it a rental?
That's
Yeah.
probably one of yours from college.
Okay.
You can just choose whose it is.
Could be yours, right? It was your car, right now.
Yeah.
You guys owe me parts if there's any broken shit, man.
I mean,
It's your
Right.
car.
I mean, listen, I chipped in on gas. You drove it.
You chipped in $5.
Come on, Rydell. Let's have this conversation after we get home.
That'll get you a couple spark plugs.
I'll get you a case of Bush lattes.
Oh my
Yeah,
lord.
now we're talking.
That's hard to pass up. That's at least $10 right there. So,
Oh.
All right. So you guys are sitting there for a while. That it starts to get 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. The temperature starts to rise a little. It's not uncomfortable, but you can see that the sun is hitting the beach. It looks warm. Like I said, it's more gravel than it is sand, but it's still, if you wanted to lay out on it, get some sun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to catch some rays.
How tall those cliffs?
Well, they're rocky, maybe 20 feet high down into the water. But the water's a little murky. It's not that clear, so you don't know if there's rocks right under the surface.
Kind of elbow Nate. What do you think?
Thinking what I'm thinking.
Finish off a beer.
Lord. I'm going to go put on my
Take off
swimsuit and go lay out on the beach.
Well, I'm not a doctor yet, so be careful.
Careful. It's vacation.
This way to the gun show.
As a person of physics, how badly can this go?
As
a linguist, I don't have any problem with it.
As an art student, it's only one way to find out. Slap that paint on the wall, and by I mean that, throw ourselves off that cliff.
Yeah, you guys do that. I'm gonna stay here with the girls.
Come on, Rydell. Used to be fun, man. There's a time you'd have jumped right off that cliff before any of us.
Live a little. Hey, Charlie, you watch this. I'm about to do something really cool.
I'm sure. I go back to put on my swimsuit.
Start walking up to those cliffs.
So, can we guess then that it sounds like Allie, Jojo, and Charlie are kind of on the south end of the beach, and you guys are going to jump off the south cliff?
Oh no, I'm with the girls. I'm not doing
Okay.
this.
You're the pussy. Okay, you're going to stay with the girls.
Hey, my boy Nate, we're going off a cliff.
All right.
Let's do this.
I don't know if I told you this at the beginning. Did you guys roll for your luck?
I did, yes.
To set it up?
Yep.
Yeah.
Roll 3d6 times 5.
Mhm.
I've got 60 luck.
And if you've got less than 40, you can.
Oh, I didn't
Roll
do
it.
that. Here, let me do it.
Good, because I rolled 15.
13.
I was like, really?
Got 70, spent 1, 69.
Yeah.
And then you can, those of you who are jumping off the cliff, you can roll for luck.
Roll
Okay.
luck check.
Yeah.
Don't mind if I do.
47 out of 60.
So, Phil, you go running up to the cliff, woo-hoo-hoo, and you leap off and hit the water. And for one instant, when you hit the water, it's acceptable. And as you dip down into the water, which it's fairly deep where you're standing, it is freaking cold.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I yell underwater and take a little into my mouth.
You get the shock.
Yeah. It's off-season Great Lakes.
And Nate, how's your luck?
I got a cool 84 out of 69.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
So, not to be outdone, you run and you leap off the cliff and try to do some sort of spin in the air, and you land flat down on your stomach. And the sound of the slap echoes around the.
Oh, some bitch.
No
Oh.
damage, but it's been like you've been slapped, so have the wind knocked out of you a little bit. Now water is cold.
Hey, Charlie, did you see that? Wasn't that awesome?
Damn,
Yeah.
Upton.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can still see it on your.
I look a little bit like a lobster.
So Jojo, Charlie, and Allie, are you laying out? Are you sitting? Are you walking around?
I was going to lay out. I got one of those 2-piece swimsuits, but not like the bra top,
Okay.
like the shirt top, because, I got a little belly. Don't want to show that off too much.
I'm laying down on a towel reading a book.
Okay. And Jojo?
Yeah,
same?
I'm sitting on a towel, trying to keep an eye on the boys,
And
so that
Rydell?
if they kill themselves, I can call Ellie.
Rydell, what you up to?
I'll probably be kind of just putting my feet in the water.
In the water. Are you walking and you've got your feet in the water?
Yeah, mostly just my toes, kind of where the wind's kind of
Okay.
pushing in.
Yeah.
Damn, it's fucking cold.
Hey, Phil,
It's chilly.
What's up, Tin?
how do you rate that sweet belly flop?
I mean, as far as belly flops go, fucking 10, man.
I am the epitome of grace.
Rydell.
Go ahead.
That's it.
Allie, you're sitting there reading your book.
Yes.
And you've done a lot of reading in school, and so you're after a bit, your eyes get a little strained, and you look around, and it's a lovely setting. The trees all behind you, the beach, the lake. Do a spot hidden for me.
03.
Oh, nice.
So that's going to be an extreme.
You're sitting there, and the sun is warm, and you're comfortable, and your eyes start looking around and start focusing, and you notice that up the beach a ways, like almost to where the pier and the boathouse are, there's something red in the sand, something almost like a little red pyramid sticking up. You can't see, it's too far away to make out the details, but there's something, it looks like it's maybe not like that, sort of sticking up. And it's very bright red like fire engine red.
Well, it's time for me to stretch my legs anyway, so I'm going to take a walk up the beach towards the boathouse then. If anyone would like to join me.
You're heading towards the boats?
Yeah, just for a walk. I think I see something there. See that? The red object.
Sort of sticking out of the sand.
Yeah, I didn't notice it before. Yeah, I'll take along.
Maybe
Charlie, are
wash
you
the
okay
shore.
here?
Yeah. I'll just I'll keep an eye on you guys.
Rydell?
All right.
Seeing that the two girls are leaving, he's going to follow them.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
chopped liver. Thanks.
Well, the boys, if you guys have been splashing around a bit, you've probably come up and you've dried off. You're getting dried in the sun. It's nice and warm. So you also have a choice whether you walk in that direction or not.
What are y'all doing?
Oh, just stretching my legs. The book got kind of boring, so go for a walk.
I think our sweet stunts intimidated the girls.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab some beach.
Okay. So you're going to stay there with Charlie?
Yeah.
Nate?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Phil and hey, Charlie, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I thought you might have ripped a nipple off when you hit that water, so that angle.
Oh, it wouldn't be the first time.
Really?
He did. He did almost rip his nipple off. It was freshman year. He jumped off the high dive in the pool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it wasn't quite as good a belly flop as that, but it was pretty close. And I mean, just sheared that nipple.
Oh,
I really outdid myself this time.
I think he almost ripped it. I mean, if he had a piercing, that thing would have been yoinked right out of there.
Oh, just clear off. Yeah.
So Allie, Jojo, and Rydell, you walk down the beach, the crunch of the sound of the gravelly sand under your feet, the gentle slope. As you are walking towards the boathouse, you can see that on the very end of that little pier, there are a couple of cheap folding chairs, the kind that are canvas with that sit flat, really close to the ground, so you're sitting close to the ground. The beach house, the boathouse itself looks like it's a little run down. You can see some holes between the slats of the boards. The window's kind of dirty. There's a window on the side. You start walking up towards this red thing, and right up until the moment you get up to it, you're not really sure what it is. But once you're there, you realize that it's a red bucket. Looks like the kind of thing that little kids would play with on the beach. It's almost buried in the sand, but a little bit of it is sort of sticking out of the sand. And you can see a little bit of white sort of handle, plastic handle, that's sort of sticking up out of the sand, like I said. But most of it is face down, buried a bit in the gravel and the sand. What would you like to do?
Looks like some kid left this here.
Yeah, it's not the archaeological find of the century, but maybe we can tidy it up.
Hey, we can make some sandcastles. That'll be fun.
What are you, like 7?
Hey,
So
man.
Jojo,
can't-
go ahead. Sorry.
Hey, man. Every king needs his kingdom.
All right, sure.
Jojo, when you
I'll help.
say that, do you pick it up?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. So Jojo sort of grabs it and wrestles it out of the sand and lifts it. And as she does, this falls out onto the dirt.
Yeah, Jojo backs away fast.
You can all do sanity rolls.
I
Holy
think I'm
shit.
gonna scream.
Yeah, you
Oh,
scream.
I failed.
The other three, you hear the
Made
girls
it.
scream down at the other end of the beach.
Oh shit.
The fuck? And I'm up and kind of
Yeah, let's
heading
go get
that
him.
way. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hearing my friend JoJo scream, I know a scared scream over a playful scream. So yeah, I get it.
I run right up towards JoJo.
You run
Yeah,
up there.
fear.
You see that they've unearthed this red bucket, thrown it to the side now, and laying on the ground in front of them is a severed hand. It's obviously been rotting for a little while.
Holy.
Hey, what do you got over? Holy shit.
Yeah. Like, babe, what's going? Oh my, what the fuck?
Not gonna lie, Phil, that's pretty freaking sweet.
It's a hand.
What the hell is wrong with you, man?
Too much breakfast, I guess.
And
Did we
also
lose
see
any
that there
sand?
is a. Yeah, did you guys do your sand rolls?
Yeah, I
Oh,
failed.
Yeah, I failed. I mean, no, I
Failed.
succeeded.
If you failed, well, if you succeeded, take 1 point of sand damage. If you failed, do a 1d4.
I succeeded. Come on.
All right, took 3.
Consider, 1, you screamed, 2, you're shaking, 3, your heart is pounding, 4 is you're like really freaked out. But no, you're not. You're not
I
insane.
thought it was.
Yeah.
It's pretty. Oh, it's pretty fucking gross.
Yeah, it smells.
Oh.
Hey, I guess we should report it. I mean,
Yeah, we should go and tell somebody.
yeah, Harold needs to know.
And tell that creepy guy.
We just gonna leave it
The hell's-
here. Or...
What's
I'm not
Harold going to
big-
do? Eat it?
What?
Harold probably did this.
Oh my lord.
He might eat it.
Why would he do that? But I agree. We definitely have to call the police.
I'm not picking it up. Of course I'm going to leave it here. You're
Whose hand do
discovering
you
it?
think that is?
All right, I'll go tell Harold.
There is a ring on it. Maybe there's a name engraved.
Oh, don't touch it. That's
Yeah,
messing with the crime
yeah.
scene.
Yeah, don't touch that. Don't just.
Yeah,
I ain't putting my fingerprints on it.
I'm
So-
going to get the bucket and put it back on over it, just
I'll
to
go-
preserve it, basically.
I'll
So-
go get Harold and tell
Phil,
him.
you're gonna go back to the office.
Yeah.
I'll go with Phil.
Okay. So Allie and Phil are gonna go. The rest of you are gonna wait there.
hmm
Yeah, I'm gonna console my new
All right.
friends.
I'm
So-
going to. Sorry,
Go ahead.
I wanted to look around if there's maybe more that we haven't noticed yet.
You don't see anything else like that. Of course, there could be a whole body. There could be a whole cemetery buried under the sand, but I
Yeah.
don't know.
The
The imagination runs wild.
and it was close to the boathouse, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go over there. I'm thinking, okay, maybe there's like a way to ring someone in the boat from the boathouse. So
Okay. I'll do that really quick. You go over to the boathouse. You have to kind of step up onto the pier, and you can see that there are double doors. There is a big old rusted padlock that's holding that closed. But you can also, like I say, it's kind of old. The planks are kind of, like this, and you can sort of peek inside. You can see that there are a couple of canoes and a couple of like the parasails, but they look like they're in really bad condition. Like they haven't been used in
long time.
10 years.
Is this one of those boathouses that on the other side it's just open for the boats to go in and out?
No, it's pretty much closed on both sides.
Okay.
It's like a shed.
It's just like a shed to store the stuff.
Okay.
All right. Phil and Allie, you guys go rather quickly back towards the office. When you step inside, Harold isn't there, but a woman is. And I would like you now to give you your first impressions of the lady.
While we're on our way there, I'd kind of, Allie, I'm like, what's going on with JoJo?
He's over you.
This whole thing was for us to reconnect. What do you mean?
Oh, was it? I wasn't aware of that.
If she's over me, listen, I get it. I get it. You don't like me. I get it. Okay. But you don't have to turn her against me.
I'm not doing anything.
You and Rydell, I get it. You ruined Rydell. He used to be a party guy. And party with us. And you don't like that. Now you're turning JoJo.
You can have Rydell.
I'd love to have my boy back.
Go for it.
Okay. Well, you know what? We got this fucking hand to worry about. Okay.
Yeah, we do. And I'd like to deal with that quick before the rest of our vacation is spoiled.
Actually, Phil, I gave you the wrong one.
I will not look at it.
Sorry. I don't know why it sent it to Phil instead of to Allie.
I haven't looked. I haven't looked at it just yet, so we're all good.
Obviously, if this was around a table, I could just hand you a card.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So
come in.
you step in the door, and there's this woman behind the counter, and she says, "Well, good morning. What can I do for you all? How are things going at your campsite?" My name is Cordelia. Cordelia Maris.
We come in, and Allie will absolutely hear Phil be like, "Oh." Just like a big, like, oh my. And kind of like I stopped dead, and
she smiles at you.
I'm going to push past Phil. Can't you think of anything else right now? And
good morning. You must be you Cordelia?
Cordelia.
Oh yeah, we just got in last night. Shame you weren't working the counter.
Are you serious right now?
Are
you serious? We found a fucking hand on the beach.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. What did
we
you
found
say?
A severed hand on the beach.
Oh my goodness.
Lean on the counter.
She reaches over quickly and she hits the button a couple times. She says, my brother will come out. A severed hand, like from a dead body?
Yes.
Yeah, they turned a bucket over. It was under there. It's not a big deal.
Ugh. Oh my goodness. A few minutes go by and Harold shows up. And he's like, "What's wrong?" He says,
"Oh, Harold, we found a severed hand."
These folks say they found
I need to show you.
He says, "Well, I'll go with you. Cordelia, you call the sheriff, have him come out." And she's like, "All right." She gets on the phone. Sheriff,
I'll-
you need to come out.
I'm gonna
Well,
take Harold by the
where
hand.
is this? Where is this? Show it to me.
Yep, I'm taking Harold by the hand and walking to the boathouse.
Okay.
I'm just
Philly,
leaning
you-
against the counter still.
Okay, so you're gonna let the two of them go. Okay.
Yeah.
So Harold follows you back down towards the boathouse. He sees
Oh, it
you
was
all.
so scary. It was terrifying.
He says, "I've never heard of anything like this. I wonder if, some mafia or something. He got bumped off and his hand came floating over here. I mean, I've heard of things like that on television."
It's terrible.
He comes down. The rest of you see Harold with Allie. You don't know where Phil is. Harold comes down and he says, "Good God Almighty," as he looks down at it. Obviously, you show it to him.
Mhm.
He says,
does.
"Well, folks, Cordelia's calling the hospital. Hospital's not going to help. She's calling the police. Sheriff will be out here. I don't know. It usually takes him about a half an hour.
Oh,
I suggest, you go back about your business and I'll stay here. And good God Almighty."
I mean,
Wish he wouldn't stay here.
Would you think there was an accident with the boat somewhere on the lake, or
I mean, it could be anything. Yeah. Maybe somebody, it's a big lake.
it was buried under the bucket here?
Must have washed up and got buried, the shifting sand. It's
When I saw the hand, was it like a rough, like a tear, or did it look clean cut?
good question. There was some odd things about it. It looked like it had been, it was quite rough around the edges, but there was some odd discoloration too. You think maybe, from being rotting. It didn't particularly look, it was surprisingly not as rotted as you'd expect. So it must have happened somewhat recently. But there were some odd yellowish discolorations, like it had been exposed to, I don't know, some sort of toxin. Then again, it
Ellie,
could just be yellowish green because of the ocean and the water.
Ellie, do you think someone could survive losing a hand like this?
Probably, but they'd have to cut off the blood loss and see medical attention right away.
If
Just
you
some fishermen. Maybe a fish got to him.
Could be a fisherman. Could be somebody on a tanker. Could be somebody had an accident on a tanker and got their hand ripped off.
oh my, it's making me feel faint, Harold. If I,
Well, now don't you ladies
Now that we're
worry
looking
about a
at it.
thing. I'm very sorry that this happened on your vacation. Tell you what, I'll bring you over a couple of 6-packs this evening.
well,
That'd be great.
they can have a couple with us and all.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe you can just drop him off.
Yeah, just drop them off,
No, please stay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, you folks, yeah, I need to watch this. You don't have to stay here.
Well, I know we don't have to, but
We've got a sterling opportunity to get away from this guy, Charlie.
Ladies, do a psychology roll.
ooh, spot on, regular.
Those of you who passed, he's definitely giving you a bit of the flirty vibe that
Yeah.
he's a big hunky man. He is definitely attracted to you.
Yeah. Well, Harold, I'll go grab us some chairs and we can just sit out here. And as long as I'm looking out at the the lake, I'll be fine. But there's no point in us standing.
Well, we put the bucket back over the thing until the
Yeah.
sheriff gets there.
Oh shoot! Hey, gals.
Yes, Nate.
Yeah. Well, I think I lost my wallet back towards the cabin a ways. Could you help me go look for it? Maybe more sets eyes. We can go over there and not be with Harold.
If you're too drunk already to lose your wallet like this, I'm not sure that we can really help you.
Well, I don't know if it was because of my breakfast or not, but my money's in there, my driver's license, my college ID. I feel like maybe we'd find it a little quicker if everyone was looking, except Harold.
I mean, I agree with him. I mean, we definitely should, go help find his wallet.
You folks go enjoy your day. You don't need to worry
Okay.
about this anymore.
All right.
Well, if Harold says so.
Good job, Harold. You got this.
I'm gonna hold you to the 6-packs, Harold. I'll see you tonight.
Yeah, you can just leave those on the doorstep.
Shut
You'll
up,
see
Nate.
me. All right.
So
Phil.
the hand
go
is already covered again, right?
Yeah, he covered it back up, but
Okay,
he's standing there with his arms crossed, kind of looking up towards the camp, probably waiting for the sheriff to show up.
I kind of walk off and do the little look back, see if he's looking at my ass as I leave.
Charlie.
He is.
Don't make eye contact.
Charlie, I can't believe someone so handsome is related to someone so ugly. Like
What-
his
wait,
sister.
Who's the one?
Cordelia.
I'm the one drinking?
Well, aren't you looking for a wallet, Nate? Don't be bothering the girls.
Yeah, we're having a talk
I mean-
right now.
I don't know what you're drinking or
All right,
smoking.
A to B
Gross.
conversation. See yourself out.
All right, well, I'm going to go find my wallet. Phil.
His sister Cordelia was like, speaking of rotten, she looked like she was rotting.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
terrible. Doesn't know how to
Just
make
like him.
put on makeup. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
I wonder if she's as gross as her husband.
Come on, he looks like a overgrown seal that decided to grow legs.
He's a hunk.
yeah. You just
I'm
don't
a
know,
hunk. He ain't.
You just don't know what the modern woman wants anymore.
I didn't know you guys wanted people sitting on chairs all day. Freaking probably playing every computer game known to man.
Look, he's authoritative. He's confident. All right, maybe you should take notes.
And oh my goodness, he's wearing that sandalwood cologne again.
All that cologne.
Jeez, that guy makes Phil look like David Hasselhoff.
And speaking of Phil, so Phil, you're in the office. Cordelia has made a phone call. You get the name Sheriff Sam Smithy. Yeah, Sheriff Sam, please, come in and right away. They found a severed human hand. She appears to you to be like in her mid-30s, but very young mid-30s. She doesn't have like crow's feet or anything around her eyes. Not that 30-year-olds would, but she seems to you to be quite delightful. And she's like, oh, I've just never have had such a strange thing happen here at our place. Oh, you're muted. Say something.
Shoot.
Say something.
I'm sure it's no big deal. I'm sure it just washed in. What? How long have you been here?
Well, this was my daddy's place, and my brother and I inherited it. It's just we've been running it. It's a little run down right now, but we usually fix it up before the season starts. And
it looks wonderful. I mean, great place.
Well, it's always nice to have young people staying here. And she looks at you with a big, sultry smile.
Not too young. Are you baking cookies?
No, but
Oh my God, is that you? That's smell amazing. I'm sorry.
And she blushes a bit. Are you married?
Oh, no, not even no. Are you married?
No, not at all.
Interesting. We're in 3 and 4. And I'm sure we'll be up all night around the fire. If you want to come have some drinks or
My brother, yeah. I mean, I like that, but your brother said that you were with some girls too. Are you
oh well, I mean
dating or
it's complicated.
I wouldn't want to intrude. I mean, you're here for a few days and when you're finished with your vacation, you're going to go back to college.
I'm going to finish this semester.
I'm not opposed to having a little fun.
No, but a little fun hurt no one. It's
Fun hurt
vacation.
nobody.
It's vacation.
And she laughs, kind of a delightful little laugh, and you are completely smitten.
Yeah.
She says, my brother has the sort of the night watch. If you want to come up and see me, our place is just, she points in the direction.
Okay. Yeah. I'll have a feeling I'll get kind of tired early and turn in early tonight.
Well, and I'm kind of an adventurous girl,
Oh yeah. Well, I just jumped off those cliffs.
Oh, you did?
I did. It was a rush.
You oughta, maybe I'll come down to the camp and see what y'all look like tonight.
Yeah, do it. Come on down. We got plenty of drinks, plenty of brats. Packed a couple of wieners.
Just a couple.
We packed at least one extra long.
And that goes that way. You're sitting there flirting with her. You eventually start to think about your friends down on the beach, and you dismiss yourself and you leave. But not without being completely you're having a bit of difficulty walking back down to the
kind of walk backwards out the door, kind of hang at the door and then spin out.
And you see that they've moved back over to where they had breakfast, and they're sitting back in the campground, but they can see the beach and they can see Harold standing down there, sort of looking up at the cabins, looking back down at the ocean, looking at the bucket, and then looking back up. And you all guys are all back together again. After you're there for maybe 20 minutes or so, you notice Harold sort of perk up a little bit as he's standing there, and coming down the path from the office, you can see a policeman in a sheriff's outfit. He comes down and you see Harold waving. They go down there.
The sheriff has arrived.
You can't hear what they're talking about, but you can see that he's showing him the bucket. And did you want to do anything, or did you want to just observe?
I'm gonna go up there. I'm a witness.
I lean into Nate. Hey, Smelly Feet's sister.
Be half as gross as Harold?
No, fucking 10, dude.
No shit.
No shit.
Well,
listen, if I sneak off tonight, cover for me.
All right.
So what
am I supposed to tell JoJo?
Stomach bug. Just shit my insides out. She won't want to be near me.
All right. Sounds good. I got you.
So as the sheriff is getting to Harold and Harold is talking to him, Allie, you said you wanted to walk over there. Anybody else with her? JoJo? So JoJo and Allie walk over there. And you can hear, the sheriff asking, you have any idea where it might have come from? And Harold's saying, no, I have no idea. And he looks over and he says, these ladies here found it. And the sheriff looks over at you. Sheriff looks like he's maybe in his early 50s. Kind of ruggedly handsome, but not like Harold. And he says, ladies, good morning. Sorry that you had to find something like this. It's probably just a fluke. Probably somebody lost their hand, or, worse, some mafia fellow got murdered and this body part washed up. Anyways, it's rather gruesome. We're gonna, clean this up for you. And
Yeah, there's
go ahead.
there's a ring on the hand.
Yeah, I see that. It's a weird looking ring, huh? Some sort of symbol on it. It's like a star.
Maybe we can find out whose hand that belongs to.
Well, I'm sorry, there's no we. We're going to take it back with us, and we'll have our people work on it. It's most likely we'll never figure it out, but we might.
Okay.
That's the only clue that we have. And he's got a plastic bag, or whatever, like an evidence bag, whatever, and he sort of scoops it up, and he brings the little bucket with him. And there's not much more to the conversation than that. But you see him smile at Harold and shake his hand and says, you did the right thing calling me right away. And, everybody can go about their business. And he goes back and leaves.
You were so brave, Harold.
Oh, it was nothing, ladies.
How do we get one of these boats, Harold?
I turn towards Phil.
He looks over at the boathouse. He says, they're kind of not seaworthy anymore. I mean, sometimes my sister and I come down and sit on the end of the pier, but I apologize, folks. You're here in the off season. It's just not the time of year that we have everything fixed up, but you're paying like half price.
Is there anything that you like to do around here?
Do you swim?
Yeah, I go swimming. I love swimming.
Not taking showers.
Beg your pardon?
Oh, I just had a tickle in my throat, Harold.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So
what
are
can
you
we do?
all couples?
No, we're not.
I'm with Ryder here.
Kind of look over at JoJo.
I'm not saying anything.
And he does this weird thing again, where instead of looking at the ladies, he's looking at you guys, and he's sort of sizing you up, giving you the once over with his eyes. And he says, have you met my sister? Well, I know you have. He points at Phil.
No, I haven't seen your probably lovely sister.
She's a delight.
She's up at the office. You should go and say hi.
I think I'm good. I'm go to the camp.
I don't know. Phil, maybe we should go take a look at some brochures over in the office where Cordelia is.
Yeah, you should do that.
Yeah, I could look at that map again, see what we can do.
Look at
check in, see if she's heard from the mechanic. Yeah, we need to.
They might have some topographic maps with contour lines, and
I mean, if you guys aren't like all attached, you're just college kids, right? None of you are attached. You're all
it's vacation.
Just having fun with the college crowd. My sister likes to party. You should go check her out.
Oh, she doesn't seem like the partying type.
Well,
she probably knows all the best local spots around here.
To each his own, but she's a lot of fun. Why don't you go say hi?
Me and Nate, we're going to go see if she's heard from the mechanic.
Okay. What about you? And he looks over at Rydell. Go see my sister. Go see her. She's nice.
I I think I'm good, to be honest. But
He then completely ignores Rydell. He looks over at the ladies and he says, "I like to party too."
Oh, you do.
See you tonight then.
yeah, you're a little too old for that, aren't you?
Calm down over there.
Rydell.
Oh, man, jeez. Yeah, we got a radio and everything. We could definitely have a good time tonight.
Ah, yeah, at a radio, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what
All
type
right.
of music do you like?
I like just about everything, but I actually am doing stuff at the house. So if
okay.
maybe later on I'll drop by tonight and bring you over some 6-packs.
All right.
Hey, I do have a question. By chance, can you get that pool clean since the beach is kind of, a no-go zone anymore?
I'm afraid it would take quite a while to get that pool clean.
Well, any way you could start?
Like I say, I'm charging
We
you guys
don't-
half price for being here this time of year.
Just Rydell, listen, the water's
If you-
not that bad.
You want to
Just-
have fun? Go talk to my sister.
Just come with us.
Uh,
All right.
He laughs a bit and looks back at you, shaking his head.
Oh,
Gives you girls a bright smile and then heads on back towards. It looks like he's heading towards the office first, and then back towards the nearest place.
Kind of throw them all
Right
around.
up.
Go ahead.
Rydell looks at all of you people and think, are you all nuts? We just found a hand and you still want... I think we should get a full freaking refund after this.
Well, we can't let a hand ruin our party. I mean,
Kind of throw my arm around Rydell's shoulders, like, come on, let's go check on the mechanic.
Come on, don't touch me, man.
Hey, come on, it's vacation, Rydell. Let's just go check on your vehicle. Okay. My bad. My bad. It's all good.
Fine. I want to make sure my car's fixed correctly. The last repairman tried to put freaking soul in it.
Let's just go see it. Let's go see if Cordelia has heard anything from the mechanic.
Fine.
yeah, we'll march on over there.
I'll turn towards Ellie. What did you mean when you said she doesn't seem the type to party?
Oh, I mean, she doesn't seem to get out often or shower at all, or even know how to put on makeup. That type.
like a real granola type or something, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't see someone like that being a extroverted partier.
So, Rydell, did you decide to go with them, or are you gonna stay with the girls?
Yeah, I went with him to go check on my car.
All right. Well, then I'll ask you this question: as you go up, obviously Nate's going to go into the office. Rydell, do you want to go into the office, or do you want to just walk onto the car? What did you want to do? You're muted.
I know, I was rolling a dice for a random chance. I'll go to the car.
Okay. So you go on to the car, and Nate, you go inside, and here is your impression. And she's behind the counter. Well, hey, Phil, you came back. Who's your friend?
This is my boy Nate. You want to come out and check out some pamphlets?
Lean over to Phil. Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, the pamphlets are right here, but there's a couple
Where?
missing, so I think that you've already got some pamphlets.
I don't see any pamphlets. What?
You You boys are being so silly.
We partied hard last night. We may have lost our pamphlets.
They're so hard to keep track of.
I can see that the two of you are good prime rib boys.
Just meat and potatoes. Yep, that's me.
Primest of rib.
So since we don't have our pamphlets anymore, do you think that you could maybe tell us a little bit about the area? You know, good spots around here, maybe places where the kids go and sneak away.
Cam's been in the family for a long time. There's not much around here, and you have to go quite a ways. The sheriff's in town, but that's 20 minutes away.
We want them far away.
Is there any like fun places on the camp that people could, secret off to?
Depends on what kind of fun you want to have.
Like a romantic promontory.
I mean, like, what kind of fun do you have on this camp?
Oh, tons of fun, probably.
She looks at you and she's got that really seductive sort of smile on her face. And she says, well, I invited Phil up later up to the homestead. You're welcome to come, Nate.
Phil?
Fuck, Nate. Yeah.
I mean, how close are you boys? You ever heard of a devil's three-way?
I think we call it something a little different down at college. But I think I get intimation.
I've heard of a few things in college. A few things.
Well, we can have some fun.
You ever been to the Eiffel Tower?
Oh, I don't know all the terminology you kids use nowadays. But.
It's one of the wonders of the world.
I mean, what we can tell you all about it. What time are you thinking?
I don't know. After the sundown, come on by. Whenever you think you can get by, or a little later is fine. Anytime.
A real shindig.
Anytime is fun time.
I mean, if you guys are somewhat tied to those girls, and you can.
What girl? Oh, those girls. No.
It's vacation. It's vacation.
Yeah. Oh, we got this radio. I hope you like golden oldies.
Sure. Anyways, we'll jump back to the others. Ali, Jojo, Charlie, and Rydell. Rydell, you walk down the path to the parking lot. You walk over to your SUV. What do you want to do?
Well, I'm going to open the hood and see if I can repair it myself first.
Okay. Do you have any mechanical repair skills?
Yeah, I got electric repair 50.
Okay. How about mechanical?
Probably. Mechanical repair 50.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right, using the tools probably that I have in the back of the SUV. Damn it. 4, so extreme.
Extreme. So you start fiddling with it. You think there's something wrong with, it was overheating. So it's got something with the radiator. You're looking and you realize that there are a couple of holes in your radiator, and most of the liquid has probably drained out. You don't know where it happened, but somewhere along the way, you do remember like there being rocks and something hitting the bottom of the car. You were afraid there might have been damage, but you don't. It could have been there for a while and just rusted through. It's not exactly a new SUV. Just start looking around in your car to see if there's anything else, and you get the strange feeling that some of this has been tampered with. Like like the distributor cap has been tampered with.
Ooh, damn it! I just get this freaking thing paid. Rydell just keeps thinking, who would want to break his freaking car? Realizes, wait, I'm in a random cat camp in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of off season, where the sheriff probably clearly didn't to go, oh no. As he's watched enough horror movies to know this is probably a bad sign. But it's real life, so he's going to say coincidence. But just in case, he's going to grab one of the small screwdrivers and put it in his pocket.
Okay.
And then he's going to go to Phil and probably ask him if he did it.
Okay. So you're heading to the office then?
Yeah.
So you walk into the office and you say, hey, Phil. And Phil turns around and looks at you and you see him. And then you look past Phil over the counter at the woman. And this is your impression. So he has said, Phil.
What's up, man?
Hey, Phil, you.
Did I? What?
How many hot, sexy men did you bring with you, Phil?
2.
I guess 2. Right, Rydell? I brought 2.
The answer is yes.
He's stunned into silence at your beauty.
Well,
He's the quiet, stoic type.
He is completely stunned into silence, isn't he?
Yeah, he didn't even talk.
Oh,
He
there
didn't
he
talk.
is.
I'm back. Sorry, I thought I rolled, and he would say immediately, 3. 3. Yeah.
All right. So the 3 of you are in there. Let's jump back to the other 3. Ladies, what are you up to?
Oh, well, so we're not going to let the whole thing ruin our vacation. I am kind of morbidly curious about this sister that you were telling me about, Allie. I mean,
You want to look at that freak show?
well,
I think she's still up there.
the way you described it, it's almost like a train wreck. How you just can't look away. I just can't imagine that someone like Harold would. The genes would have strayed so far away. Maybe it's like that Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito movie, where they're related. But
Yeah. Well, let's take a look.
I'd like you to all do spot hiddens, ladies.
yeah, fail.
Humble.
Oh, watch out for that branch.
Okay. So you turn around and you start walking back. What were you going to walk to the office? Did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got morbid curiosity.
You're walking towards the office, and all of a sudden, around a corner of a bush, right in front of you, and it scares the crap out of you. This man comes stumbling. He looks like he's maybe about 45. His clothing is torn and disheveled. He looks dirty. He looks completely confused as he steps in front of you and doesn't seem to acknowledge that you're there. He almost bumps into you, but you can all do sanity rolls because you guys are already a little freaked out because of
98. That's a fail.
11.
okay. If you pass 1, if you fail, just take 2 points of sanity. He's like, what? Oh.
Jesus. Right, what? What's where you going?
Are you okay?
Have you seen my wife? My wife was I don't know where she was. She was following the stream, but I don't know where she is.
Stream?
Have you seen her? And he starts like looking around and
No.
almost like starting to wander away from you.
Hey, easy. I'm gonna just check you, see if you're okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm a doctor in training.
I'm looking for my wife. We got separated, and
How long ago?
I know she's well. How long ago? A couple of weeks.
Weeks. It's been. Are you okay? I'm gonna look him up and down. And is he physically okay?
He looks malnourished. He looks like he's been stumbling through the woods. He's got little scratches, where the branches and stuff have come up against it. His clothes has definitely been damaged by walking around. I think that it's weeks. I mean, maybe it was longer. Maybe it's
Longer?
shorter. Or
We can call the sheriff.
Yeah, maybe call an ambulance for you.
Yeah.
Report a missing person.
No. I don't need an ambulance for the sheriff. I need my wife. Where is she? She was following the stream, and where did she go?
Well, I haven't seen any stream around here, so I mean,
the stream's not on the map.
The stream,
Yeah.
the stream out in the woods, babbling brook,
Yes, babbling brook. But no, we haven't seen one. Haven't seen your wife.
Doreen is her name. Doreen is my wife's name.
What cabin are you staying at?
Cabin.
Do you
10?
know where you are?
10? I think 10.
Same.
10?
I'll walk you to your cabin, okay?
Yeah.
No. I don't need to go to my cabin. I need to find my wife.
Well, maybe she went back to the cabin and she's
probably staying at the cabin.
Do you think so? Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
That's
possible.
Should I go and get the sheriff again?
We'll see what's going on before we make any calls.
I'll go with you.
He's confused.
Yeah, I'm following.
All right. So you're walking generally back towards the buildings, and you're this time you're going towards the other cabins.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that these cabins are not in exactly there. There's a lot more weeds over in this direction. And he seems to just, it's almost like he doesn't see you clearly. He's obviously mentally ill, or you're not sure exactly what. Derek is my name. My wife is Doreen. Have you seen her?
We haven't.
What does she look like?
She's somewhere around here. She's a lovely woman.
We have a picture of her, maybe?
My wife.
In your wallet?
The wallet. So I don't know where my wallet is. But we were the stream that went down onto the beach. We saw, and you've kind of gotten to his cabin.
Yeah.
I have a question for the keeper.
Uh-huh.
The severed hand, with my expertise in the medical field, did that belong to a female or a male?
You guessed that it was a man's hand.
Okay.
And this guy has both of his hands.
Yeah. Huh.
Okay. Well, you have your key, right, Derek? Is it unlocked? I'm just going to try the door.
You try the door. It is unlocked. You open the door, and the cabin has been lived in,
Mhm.
you would guess, for a while, but it is in complete disarray. More like a nest by this time,
Right.
with food wrappers and rotting pizza and stuff that and he's like, no, I don't need to go to my cabin. I need to find my wife. And he starts to sort of wander back off the porch again. He's obviously ill.
Mhm.
No, remember we were going to search your cabin, see if she was here.
You need medical attention, sir.
I can check the cabin for some information on this guy, and you can.
I'll make sure he's safe. I'll walk him
Yeah.
to the main office. Charlie, do you want to go with me, or do you want to stay with JoJo?
If you're going up to the main office, I'm going to help JoJo out here.
Okay.
I'll, leave you with the strange man.
Okay. So those of you looking in his room, do a spot hidden for me as you come.
Can I take my time to give me like a bonus?
Sure.
Yeah, no.
Okay. You don't find his wallet in the mess. But you also don't find any evidence that there was a wife.
Right.
There's no lady's clothing or lady's suitcase. There's his suitcase. It's very strange.
Yeah.
Did we find out anything more about him, like a name or something?
You looking around at things, you got a really good roll. So you think that he might have been here for at least 2 weeks. But you guess that he's been bivouacked in here, sort of hiding. You see no evidence of a wife. He may have just gone bananas, as he's in here.
Yeah, that's what I think.
That's a good spot where we can take a 5-minute break. The
All right.
restroom. Okay. We'll come back to that in a minute.
5 minutes later.
All right. So what did you want to do with this fellow? What was his name? Derek.
Derek? Yeah.
Were you taking him to the office?
Yeah, I'm taking him to the office.
All right. Not unsimilar to what happened with the sheriff, but you get him to the office, and Cordelia's there, and when she sees him, she's like, Mr. Wares, where have you been? We haven't seen hide nor hair of you for a couple of weeks. And his response is always, I need to find my wife. And he wants to kind of, it's like there's nothing connecting in his head.
Your wife.
I think you need to call an ambulance for this gentleman.
What is going on here, Allie?
We found him like on our way to the office. He's confused, he's malnourished, he's kind of torn up from the elements.
We thought
needs help.
that he had checked in, and then we didn't see him. And he was here for a while.
Did he check in alone?
Yes.
Huh.
Honest
Okay.
mistake, I'm sure.
Well, if he's had some sort of breakdown, she once again calls her brother.
Oh,
Are any of the women there that haven't seen Cordelia? Okay.
No, it's just still me.
But are you there? So now you're seeing Cordelia for the first time?
Second time.
No, for them.
Oh, they're not there.
They're not there. Okay.
Or go through the dude's cabin.
That's right. You're going through the dude's cabin. Okay. She buzzes. Harold comes over. What is it now? Crazy. This is becoming the craziest single day that I can remember in the last 20 years. I'm going to owe you people so much beer. It's like ruining your vacation. I'll tell you what, leave him here. We'll take care of him. You said he's in cabin 10. We'll get Corrine to go over there and clean that place. And we will.
Oh, who's Corrine?
She's the lady who helps clean. You haven't seen her walking around. She's almost invisible. She's an older lady. You haven't seen her? I'm sure you will. I mean, she doesn't like to. She likes to sneak in and clean things when nobody's looking. She's probably cleaned your cabins while you've been out today.
Well, I'm a doctor in training, so I'd like to sit with Mr. Derek
All right.
before they take him away.
Okay. I mean, I really don't want you to waste your time, but
No, it's the right thing to do.
all right.
About that beer later. We're on a strict Busch Light diet.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what I've got. It's probably Schlitz.
Yeah, it'll
Hey,
do.
We'll drink it after the bush. It won't matter.
All right. So I guess Allie is going to stay there with him and Cordelia, and they call. They don't call the sheriff's office. They call for medical. But they say to the people, it might be mental problem. He's acting disoriented and stuff, so he should probably go to the hospital. That's going to take a while. We're going to be sitting here for a good hour before anyone shows up. Unfortunately, we're remote, so and the flirting continues. And you, Allie, get the impression from Cordelia, even though you're not, you find her kind of repulsive, that she's kind of sizing you up too, and it's a weird sort of vibe you're getting, like she's almost selling you her brother, see his big muscles, see how, he loves chopping wood and takes off his shirt and gets out there and chops. Allie, I would like you to do a willpower roll.
Okay. I've rolled a 20. Can I spend 6 points to make it an extreme?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
All right. After you're sitting there with Harold and Cordelia for 20 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever, as you're waiting, something begins to change. And she's trying to sell you her brother too much, how handsome he is and everything. And the more she talks about it, the more you're starting to sort of clear your mind and think, well, it's maybe not as handsome as I first thought. Maybe his neck's a little too thick. He's not exactly the kind of guy that I thought that he was. He's acting nice, but that smile of his, it's a little too toothy. You're starting to become mentally critical. And you're also becoming mentally critical of yourself, thinking, am I just tired of bad relationships? Am I making bad choices? But there's definitely something about both Harold and Cordelia that it makes you uncomfortable. I mean, it's almost like they're trying to sell you, or I say sell you, they're trying to convince you to have sex with Harold. You know?
I'm thinking how that's kind of fucked up and predatory.
Yeah, it's just, and you're alone in there with them, and it makes you feel all the more uncomfortable. So it's up to you, but I don't think that you want to last the whole hour waiting. It's feeling just a little too creepy. And they've got Derek sitting in a chair, and Derek is kind of drifting off to sleep, and he'll wake up and he'll be like, where's my wife? You know, and then sort of drift off, but he doesn't seem to be going anywhere.
Mm-hmm. I'm the type to just stare her down and hold my ground.
Okay. So, what's everybody else doing? Ladies, you've gone through the cabin.
Yeah.
You
And it
know,
probably
like finding
smells.
bit.
Yeah.
It smells mostly like, food that's gone a little bad.
Yeah.
And as you are sort of looking around in there, I'd like you to do we'll call it a spot hidden.
Oh, pass.
I have an extreme with a
Very
wild.
nice. So as you're looking around, you both notice at the same time a kind of shadow crosses through the room, and you quickly look back, and poking her head in the door is an elderly woman. She looks like she's maybe in her early 60s. She's got cleaning stuff, and she says, "Oh, I thought that there was nobody here."
Oh, are you Derek's wife?
I don't know what Derek. I'm Corrine Hatton. I'm the cleaner for the camp.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. We're guests of the camp. The gentleman that was staying here, he was looking for his wife, and we told him we'd look in the cabin to see if she was around.
I don't know anything about that. Harold told me to come over and clean up the cabin.
Oh, okay. It needs it.
Have you been around cabin 4 and 5 in the morning? By any chance?
That's the other end down there. No, do they need cleaning?
No.
I think there's somebody staying in those two.
Yeah, that's us.
I usually clean after you leave.
Yeah, that's sensible.
Well, okay.
So, no, there's only one cabin that I don't clean.
Oh, really? What cabin's that?
That's that one over there, number 8.
Why don't you clean that one?
I've been told just to stay out of it.
Oh well.
Okay.
There's something about her too that seems a little weird. She's kind of glassy-eyed. You figure
Like
just because she's old.
Or?
No, she's just glassy-eyed. She's looking off into space. She doesn't seem to be looking directly at you, as she's little dotty in the head.
Okay.
Well, we don't want to be in your way. Just one other question. Did you ever see a lady coming in and out of this cabin?
Ever? I mean, there's been lots of.
I mean, within the last couple weeks.
I was not aware of any lady living here or staying here.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I appreciate it. Were you?
Would you mind if I started cleaning?
No. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bother you.
What a mess, she says as she comes
If you
in.
find anything that like a wallet or something like that, it would be great if you could bring it to the reception.
That's what I always do. Got a cardboard box here for that.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think we should leave, Charlie.
Oh yeah.
While we're going out, does she have like a little cart with cleaning utensils or?
She doesn't have a cart. She's got a bucket with cleaning stuff in it that she could fill up with water if she needed to.
Okay.
Oh, as we start walking, it's like going, why? I mean, she seems nice. I mean, you know, she probably inhaled too many chemicals. That's what's wrong with her eyes. But, you know,
I had the feeling that I was being watched in the morning. It was weird. I thought maybe I saw her at the corner of my eye somewhere, but
well, I mean, they did say they had families here. Maybe they had left and she was cleaning up there.
families.
I thought they said there was some families here when we checked in. I'd had a couple of bush lights, of course, but
Yeah. I can't remember, but do you think we should check out cabin 8?
well, I wouldn't mind walking by, you know.
It's on the direction to our cabin.
Yeah,
So.
and maybe there's a slide I can climb up and look in the windows they're from. It's right by the playground.
Yeah, sure.
You can walk up onto the porch. Look at
Yeah.
All right, that's just right on your way.
Mm-hmm.
You get to 8, and you step up onto it, and once again, your feet sort of creak on the boards. The curtains are drawn. You look through, you can't really see anything. I think there's a table with looks like maybe a book on it. You think the bed is unmade. You're not sure, but that's really all that you can see because there's just no way to see. So the door is locked.
Door is locked. Okay, yeah, because I do jiggle the handle.
Do the windows open somehow?
They open from the inside, but they've got a
None
latch,
of them are
so they're
tilted
locked.
or something like that.
No, they slide sideways.
Okay. Well, maybe they just got a long-term guest that just wants privacy.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Go back down.
Okay.
Didn't you think it was odd? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Did you think it was odd that he really, I mean, he did it in a really nice way, but I think that Harold, it was like he was pimping his sister out to the boys. Yeah, she likes to party and stuff.
I just figured he was trying to get rid of the guy so he could hit on us, but then he wanted to stay by the hand.
With what Ellie said, I thought maybe his sister needs to have some company once in a while, and
maybe she's the one that's got him tied down here, and if he could get her to run off with one of the guys, then he'd be free. Come back to college. But yeah, I thought it was unbecoming, is what we'll call it. It's the only knock against him, though. I mean, you know, besides that.
Yeah. I mean, the way that he guarded the thing, and that very diligent.
Yes, he's wonderful.
All right. Let's see if I can account for everybody. Where are the gentlemen? Nate, Phil, right?
We're still at the office.
Okay. I thought by now you would have left because.
I mean, we might have wandered off. I mean, I don't know.
Wandered off probably.
You went silent. We can't hear you all of a sudden, right now.
Can you hear me?
Oh, there you go.
Could have probably started walking to the cabin talking about what's going to happen.
Hours.
Yeah, walk towards our cabin.
Ours.
Yeah, back towards ours. Yeah.
That makes sense. Also, we don't know where the rest of the group is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know I'm in the office.
Yeah, we know Ellie's in the office, but yeah, we don't know where JoJo.
As soon as you sort of
are.
clear the clubhouse, you do notice Joanne and Charlie down at the other end, fiddling around, looking in the window of a cabin.
Hey, let's go tie in with those gals.
Yeah, I need to figure out what's up with me and JoJo, preferably before nightfall happens.
Better be quick.
Just see where we stand.
All right.
Pretty far apart.
Very far apart.
You and all end up over there except for Allie, who's in the office. I would like you to all do listen rolls.
That is a regular success. I can spend 3 for a hard if I need to.
Not
Regular
too
is fine.
extreme.
Oh, nice. So Rydell hears something first, and then Phil hears it. It sounds like running water, and it sounds like it's out in the woods, back over in that direction. Except that it was completely silent, and then the sound sort of rises up and becomes loud enough to where all of you can hear it. I mean, it's not loud, but it's loud enough to where you all hear it, like you were near a stream of some sort.
Guys, was there a stream when we drove in?
It was really dark.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention, but
There's
that gentleman that we met, he was going on. He was babbling about a babbling brook.
that one that Allie's with in the
Yeah.
She's
the
still with
office.
him.
she said she's a doctor, going to be a doctor. So she
Oh.
wanted to get a little
She's such a good soul.
in the field practice. But I mean, there's I don't think there was a stream on. I mean, you think they'd put a stream on the little map thing? If
Wait, maybe it's just some snow melt and it's like it's a dry river stream, most of the time.
Yeah, but it's not been winter for a few months.
Yeah,
I mean, this is something that we could have overlooked. I mean, we just got here. It was dark when we drove in.
let's go check it out.
it's a sound off towards like the
Out in the woods.
Out in the
from where you
woods.
are. Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe there's some good fishing.
could be good fish, but I just want to. I mean, he swore his wife was by a stream, and so
Yeah.
So
I mean, nothing else going on.
you get kind of to the edge of the camp, and you start into the woods, and the sound seems to have lessened, and after a minute it's gone. So it now sort of reminds you of like the sound of a flushing toilet.
Mhm.
There's bubbling water sound there for a few minutes, and then the sound is gone. And as you sort of look around to see if you can see anything, you see a place in the ground where there's kind of a bit of an arroyo, just sort of a trench. It's not really a trench, it's just a little depression in the landscape that moves down towards the beach. And some of the plants and things around it have been kind of crushed down, and they're a little moist. But you don't see any remnants of water or anything around, except the fact that the plants are somewhat
Crushed
moist.
down like someone stepped on them.
Like something, like something mashed them all down. Not like footprints, but more like something rolled down this trench towards the beach.
Is it a
smashed
large
everything.
trench?
Yeah, I mean, you'd say it's at least 4, maybe 5 feet across. And it's, like I say, it's not really a trench because there are plants growing in it and everything else. Probably in a rainstorm, it probably would be a bit of a place where the rain would go down towards the beach.
So some sort of drainage system, yeah.
Yeah, some sort of drainage system. And something seems to have just gone down there, wet, but it's
Well,
not there now.
The only thing this reminds me of is I mean, I've seen, I used to work at a hay farm, and we'd see where deer would bed down, and you'd walk and you'd see the depressions of tamped down grass.
Right.
That's all I got.
Yeah, but would it be really that smooth?
Well, the plants are kind of trying to spring back up, but something heavy crushed them down.
In my mind, it had to flow down the hill, so I'm just going to kind of
Follow it.
walk. Yeah.
You guys walk with them.
Guess
Yeah.
this is what we're doing.
I walk with Charlie. Yeah.
All right. So you're walking down the hill and you're following this arroyo, and it's the same all the way. It's been crushed down. It definitely looks like some sort of water flowed down here, but not enough to leave puddles, not enough to make mud, just kind of damp. Everybody do spot hiddens.
Ugh.
99.
Nope.
Watch out for that rock.
Just a regular success for me.
A hard one.
Phil, just one moment. I can feel a sneeze coming on, but it's not quite here yet.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Sorry. Jojo, oddly enough, suddenly snuggles up closer to you. Jojo, you have the very strong feeling that something in the woods is watching you. And Phil, you kind of know what she's talking about. The hair on the back of your neck is standing up. If you passed, that's the way you feel. If you didn't, you don't know what's going on, baby.
I don't feel right, Phil.
So I think just instinctively, I like put my arm around, like, since she's snuggling, it was like, yeah, it's weird. Like,
I think we should go back.
I feel like there's someone else out here.
Hey, you're getting a little close there, Jojo. Leave room for the Lord.
No, there's damn it. There's
I back off when he says that.
no, something feels weird, man.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Is it similar to the? Yeah, it's similar to the feeling I had in the morning, right?
Yeah, stronger.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's that Harold.
Oh, what do you think?
No,
Fix my hair.
Who knows? It could,
No, he's perving on us.
please. It could
He
be the
doesn't seem.
Wendigo.
It doesn't seem to be the type.
He's waiting to see if we're gonna do it here in the stream.
You're being paranoid. There's nothing weird out here. I mean, this, again, some deer probably bedded down in here.
So do you go back or do you continue to follow the?
I continue. I have no reason to. I think
All right.
Phil's just trying to be some excuse to be with JoJo.
Charlie, you follow it along a little ways, and rather abruptly, the trees end, and you are way up at the top of the cliff, maybe 30 feet above the water. This is the cliff on the boat house
Gotcha.
side.
Mhm.
So the boathouse is right over there, looking down. You're now on the other side of it. And this impression came right to the cliff, and you can see there are kind of wetnesses on the rocks going right down to the water.
Is this the same cliff that Phil and I
No,
did?
you were on
Sweet
the
Jump
opposite end of the beach was where you guys were.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
You were to the south. This is the north side of the cliffs.
Got it.
Huh. Look at this. Look at this, Nate. It's like something climbed down, or like maybe the waterfall fell here, but
Do you think it's still down there, maybe? I don't know anything that sounds like water when it moves, except just, well, water.
You didn't hear a big splash either.
yeah. Could be. I mean, I'm not one to lean way over a cliff and look, but
I'll do it.
it's 30 foot.
I got you.
Yeah, watch out. Look, I'll show you how brave I am, Charlie.
Oh,
I can hold your. I got you. I'll reach up there and
I stay back. I think near Radel.
Yeah,
grab onto Nate's belt.
Phil.
Yeah. Oh, Phil, hold my beer.
Phil.
Hold beer, hold belt.
Phil, do a strength roll
Oh fuck!
as Nate leans out and you brace.
Trust you, Phil.
I'm gonna spend that 1 point of luck to make it a 75 to make it a success.
Okay. He
So
almost
strong.
lets you go, Nate.
You hand me that beer, and I'm like,
The girls screech a little, which doesn't help, but
yeah.
he pulls you back in time. You scramble back.
See that, Charlie?
But you don't
That
see
was so
anything.
cool.
It doesn't seem like anything's going on. You guys are tired, exhausted, afraid, disturbed. You're running through a range of emotions. What do you do next? I mean, you can work your way over to the boathouse and go back onto the
Yeah.
beach that way.
Well, I'm going
Yeah.
to get my beer back from Phil.
said afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would
Did you
Allie,
take a sip?
Little
Yes.
bit.
So
Allie.
I do have a plan that I'd like to share with you, Keeper.
okay. Yes.
When the ambulance or paramedics come to
Mhm.
take Derek away, when they're talking to the owner, I want to see if there's a master key ring that I can snatch, because I don't feel safe with them having access to our cabins.
Okay. So the ambulance does come,
Okay.
and Harold explains to them, he says to them that they think that this guy came and rented a cabin. They didn't know that he was like on the verge of a mental breakdown, but he seems to have had a mental breakdown. And
And what does he look like now? Now that I have.
The same. In fact, the second he wakes, he's like, "Where's my wife? Where's
Oh,
Doreen?"
no, Harold. Now that I've had
Harold?
this.
Just a lot plainer and
Okay.
a little more flabby. The attraction is kind of gone.
Okay.
And there is a kind of a funky smell, like feet,
Ugh. Even Phil's better than him.
But Harold says that to him, and they go out to the parking lot and put Derek in the car, and they leave. Now, what you said, do a luck roll,
All right.
and it's going to depend on.
25
Is that a pass?
out of 46.
Okay. You see the master
44.
key ring on Harold's hip.
Damn.
Okay. But you see that it's got a little carabiner there that's holding it on. So you can tell that you could snap that off without him noticing.
I'm
As
going
long as-
for it.
As long as you hold on to the keys and let them not jingle.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to give you a luck roll to see if you do that.
Another luck roll. Got it. 22 out of
Okay.
44. That
You
is a
snapped
hard.
them off. The first luck roll was to see if they were in the office,
Nice.
because they could have been in the office. So 2 luck rolls. You have the key ring, and you've sort of stashed it, and he didn't notice.
All right, I'm going to go excuse myself. I'll see you later, Harold.
See you tonight. He
And I'm going
smiles at
to
you.
fake a smile.
And he sort of gives you not only a smile, but a little bit of a humpy sort of look, like he's
Ugh.
giving you clear, what he wants. All right.
I am going to hurry away.
You go back. You see your friends down on the beach, walking back up towards the camp. Do you go out and meet them?
Yeah.
You are on the north side, so you're near the boathouse, pier, and cabins 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
All right. Hey guys, do you what were you up to?
I get some twigs out of my hair.
Nate was showing off how he could lean over a cliff.
You know, there was
Something-
something weird that I noticed when I was sitting in the office.
Uh-huh.
Harold's not that great. Even Phil's better than Harold.
Hey, now,
Right?
that's my boy.
Right.
No, he's got this weird smell like feet, and
What?
I told
he's
you.
really weird.
Maybe he was just having like a Cobb salad and he just ate some blue cheese.
No. Like Jojo, you gotta hear me out. You're my best friend, but he was dry humping the air.
Yeah,
that
disgusting.
was nasty.
Oh, that's
Okay.
Oh, that fat sack of meat.
Yeah.
Oh,
Gross.
Lord.
I don't even know why I thought he was attractive in the first place.
Because
Did
he
you have
is.
your eyes closed this whole time?
Maybe,
I think so. It's disgusting.
but like he's just as disgusting as his sister.
Well, I don't know.
Well,
I'll put them in the same.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not really fair.
I think it's very fair.
I mean,
I
I don't know.
might need
I
to
mean,
go to the
looks-
eye doctor.
looks at
whenever you get back.
JoJo and Allie. I mean, she looks pretty good, but
Did you find anything out about Derek when you were searching cabin 10?
Hey, he lived like a slob.
Did you meet anyone?
Yeah, it's looked like he survived in there, like a homeless
Mm.
person. But there was a cleaning lady, and she knew nothing about him, basically.
I haven't seen a cleaning lady.
Oh, you saw the cleaning lady, huh?
there's a cleaning lady.
Yeah.
Apparently, yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
she doesn't seem to be
look,
cleaning much.
I flashed the master
Yeah.
key ring. I stole this off of the main office because
Whoa.
I really don't feel safe with Harold having access to my cabin.
You're living on the edge now.
Yeah, we are.
I had the feeling
I'll
that I
return
was
them.
being watched.
Great. How am I going to
twice.
get the refund now?
Oh, they don't know it's me.
Hey, Jojo, he's got the master key. I mean, if
Yeah.
door 8 was unlocked,
What's in cabin 8?
Yeah.
We don't
What's that
know.
about?
we don't know,
It's
but
cool.
It's locked.
Why are y'all wanting to check out cabin 8?
well, because it doesn't get cleaned.
Yeah.
The-
The cleaning lady said she was told to stay out of there.
That's kind of weird. I mean, I'm already on a streak, so
I'm wondering.
mean-
I'm wondering if they have. That's where they keep their pot.
Oh,
Oh, let's go.
yeah.
oh, maybe that's where they keep their beer.
You had me at
Stash?
pot.
Wait.
All right, well, we got to make sure no one's looking because
Yeah.
they don't know I have this key ring.
I feel like they're all dealing with that guy in the office.
That's true. That's true. Well, let's hurry then.
Count me in.
Do you hand over the keys or do you keep them?
Whoever wants them.
I'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you end up taking the little shortcut back around up to the where the cabins are, and
Someone be on lookout.
you can see that Corrine must have finished the room because it's closed. There doesn't seem to be anybody about. You're going to go to 8.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you go to 8. You can see that the master keys all have numbers on them. So you've got key to cabin number 8. Who's going to open the door?
I got the keys.
Okay. So you open the door and you're greeted by no particular smell at all. You look inside, the room is fairly neat, though the bed is unmade. There is a suitcase sitting at the end of the bed. And it looks like there is a pen and flat little maybe journal of some sort sitting on the table. There are a couple of fancy shirts, not fancy shirts. I mean, like Hawaiian shirts hung up on the thing over by the closet. It looks like somebody's on vacation.
All right. So you said there's a notepad?
Yeah. It also looks like it hasn't been cleaned in a week or so. There's a little bit of dust on everything.
It's kind of weird.
Well, they did say these ones were not in use this time of year. Maybe they're using this place to keep some of their stuff.
A little peek wouldn't hurt.
Yeah. What's
right.
Did they write anything down here?
All right. So you're all standing around, and Nate has gone over, and he's looking at the little book. He opens it up. It seems to be a journal, and it's the fellow who left the journal is named Clark Hayden, and there's like bits and pieces of stories and ideas that he's having, and there seems to be some information that he's gathered specifically about the Marises. And the last page looks like this.
I can get this, everybody. So I've been here a couple days now, laying low, keeping my eyes open for anything out of the ordinary. I wanted at first to ignore this place, mainly because the sister's pretty and I find it hard to imagine anything bad coming from her. Yeah, I agree. Her brother, on the other hand, gives me the creeps. This guy sounds pretty on the dot. Going by my research on this area of Michigan, there are just too many missing persons cases to ignore. They want you to believe that the people going on vacation in the woods disappear all the time. Sometimes it's a real accident, and sometimes it's murder. Camp Sunny, from what I gather, was inherited by Harold Maris and his sister Cordelia from his father William, who purchased the property in the 1960s. So everyone local was very familiar with the Maris family. I tried to ask around, but no one would say anything bad about them, which means that either they're good people or they have everyone in their pocket. From the reaction of the local sheriff to my inquiries, my guess is he's on their side, so I should probably be careful. Don't know why it is, but something in this camp's given me the heebie-jeebies. It has obviously seen better days. They don't seem to be too enthusiastic about keeping the grounds in good order. I wouldn't let my kids play in the playground or swim in their filthy pool. Also, I thought I saw something in the woods moving. It unnerved me. I thought it was a creek, but today there was no creek. Had me all freaked out. I'm not generally a superstitious man, but I found myself twirling the ring my grandmother gave me. She said it would protect me from evil, that it was some ancient gypsy magic to ward off the things that go bump in the night. Gonna do a bit of poking around tomorrow and see if this is all just my imagination. Well, that sounds a little bit like what happened to us.
Yeah.
Creek noise, and there was nothing there, and oh, shoot.
Looks like that magic ring didn't help.
Yeah.
You
I
don't
don't
think
have a
that-
good feeling about this.
You don't think that this guy's the owner of that hand we found on the beach?
I mean, I think he's the former owner of it.
Yeah.
This ring that we
That's-
saw, does it have some pagan symbol? Did it have some pagan symbol on it?
It had a weird star with
Yeah.
like a weird eye in it.
Well, it obviously didn't work.
I think we should all stick together.
Yeah.
I think you're right. It's kind of weird. I'm going to look around and make sure no one's watching us still.
I think we should. Oh no, I forgot to tell you guys. Car's completely busted.
Oh, really?
What happened? I thought it was just the radiator. Completely busted?
Like, there's holes inside of the bottom of the car.
Someone
The hell?
poked
What?
holes?
Well, rust in Michigan isn't that uncommon, but
No, it's not. Okay. A few holes could have been rust, but a few of them looked more like punctures. Maybe we hit something on the road.
punctured. I mean, if we hit something that would puncture the bottom of your vehicle, I think we'd definitely remember hitting something that hard.
That's true.
I'm going to start
Yeah,
going
so-
through the suitcase.
Okay. It's man's clothes.
Okay.
It looks like he has a suit, but you get the impression that the suit's what he wore here and what he'll wear going. But he brought a lot of summer clothes or whatever you want to call them for
Mhm.
sitting around. Other than that, there's nothing.
So there's a
Toiletries,
thin layer of dust on everything that looks like maybe it's been sitting for a while then.
at least a week or two. Yeah.
Did
All right.
you guys check on the mechanic then? Radel?
I think we forgot to ask, and there wasn't any mechanic I saw when I went to the car.
Yeah, we might have forgot to ask about that.
What were
I
you
was a little
doing?
distracted.
Oh my lord.
What?
Nothing. We'll
I'm
go-
a young bachelor.
You can do better than that.
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
Well, let's get out of here before they catch us snooping around in here. I mean,
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, we should stick together.
Yeah, it'd be a
People
real
are going
shame.
missing from this place.
Be a real shame if Cordelia caught us in here unawares.
yes, it would. Yeah,
All right. So where are you going from here? Back
Does
to
the
your
master
cabin?
key have keys to the Maris estate, the Maris house?
Probably not. No.
Okay.
I'm thinking that, hey, we need to check on this mechanic, guys. I mean, like, we can't get out of here. We got a semester to finish up. I mean, I know I'm not the most responsible, but we can't be staying here. We got to get the car fixed.
Unless
I got a
the mechanic
question.
has a mobile welding torch, she's probably not going to be able to fix the car.
So if we're now in a situation where we think we might have to, skedaddle, the keys to the boathouse on that ring?
And I check.
You don't see it. They're just for the rooms.
And there's a padlock on it. You could smash it.
I have a
said-
screwdriver.
It's
Oh.
true.
I could help.
Harold said that
Not exactly.
also-
The boats, they're not operational, right? That's what Harold said.
You trust that guy? He's gross.
He is gross.
Yeah, he probably wants to put us in a stew or something, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
I agree. He's a creep.
Can make broth out of our severed hands.
Wait,
Oh, guys. Yeah, first off, he's not
That's
gross.
similar.
He's fine looking. He smells wonderful. And yes, I saw the boats through a crack in the boathouse. They're not functional. I mean, he's probably too busy making sure that his hair is looking right to fix the boats. Or
Come on.
All right. Well, the
Charlie.
boats might be bad, but I got to correct you there, Charlie. He is not fine looking. He's gross and he doesn't smell good. He smells disgusting.
I mean, what are we even doing here? I mean,
Well, they're right about Harold, but they're not right about.
they're right about Harold. Yes.
Yeah.
But do we not think we're overreacting? I mean,
wait a second. You used to like Harold at all completely, correct?
Yeah, he at first seemed like the perfect guy, but
And you realize he's a disgusting seal
yeah,
person.
after I was sitting in that office and his sister was just trying to sell him to me, that just didn't sit right with me. She kept on talking about how I should get with Harold.
And
So, yeah.
you three see her as basically a female version of that.
I did.
Well, it's a little harsh, but
I haven't seen her yet.
yeah,
Well, we can take a stroll there and you can look.
yeah. Let's go, and then we can.
But just like notice
Okay.
how she's talking about Harold.
I get it. You all are freaked out by the woods. I'm a little freaked out by that. This diary. I'm going to head back to the cabin. I'm tired. I've been walking around here. I don't feel like going back up to the office.
You probably have slept terrible as well.
I did
Yeah.
sleep terrible. I stayed up too late. I had too much to drink. I woke up at 6:30 this morning. I'm just going to go relax. I'm going to sit out on the porch, have a beer, and just chill for a minute.
All right.
Yeah.
I think we should pair off. So I'll go with Phil. Make sure you're not alone. And I think there's some stuff we need to talk about.
Ooh.
Well, you're not going to drink my beer, are you?
No.
Leave some for me.
You'll have yours. I got you. I got you.
All right.
If the two of you are going to the cabin, what does everybody else do?
I want to go check out this Cordelia. That way I can join in on their conversation, given the honest answer of what she looks like.
So Joanne and Charlie, you're going to go check out Cordelia. Rydell and Nate.
Well,
No.
is there anything more in the cabin here?
No.
Huh.
Rydell is getting that very bad horror vibe and doesn't want to be the first person to die, like in a horror movie. So,
Well, I'm very good at fencing, so you don't need to worry about that.
I mean, you can stick with everybody
Yeah.
else. Or
I think I might
I think we need a way to get out of here.
I think we should mull this over a cold bush latte.
I knock it straight out of your hands. We don't have time for that. I want you as silver as possible.
You know, I think better after I've had a few or a dozen.
That's what you said when you decided to drive a car down Main Street going 80 last 2 years ago. That didn't work out too well, did it?
You got to admit that was a little bit neat.
I will not admit anything.
Well, suit yourself. Pretty freaking cool. Got some air.
all right. So does that mean you're going to head back to the cabin too to get more beer?
I will. Riedel.
I'm not going to the ship alone, so I'm following him, I guess.
All right.
So 4 of you go
Got
back
some
to
sense.
the cabin, and the ladies are going to go check out Cordelia. All right. Ladies, you head on over to the office. And just as you are arriving at the office, Harold is stepping out of the office, and he has a big old thing of like a 24-pack of beer, cans beer, not bottled beer.
Oh, well, we're in the woods.
And he says, "Oh, ladies, I was just going to take this over to your cabin."
Oh, well, that's exciting. We were gonna going in real quick. We wanted to inquire about, like, maybe getting a tow truck or something. Our vehicle's not working.
Oh yeah, I called a mechanic, and he said he'd come out, but he had stuff to do, so he said he'd be here later this afternoon. I think he has a tow truck.
Okay. So
I think that's what he usually drives around in.
Right, yeah.
Is there a way to maybe call a cab or something like that?
A cab out here? No, there's no cabs out here. I mean, they haven't invented Uber yet, so.
Mm-hmm.
No, if you need to go into town, I mean, I could drive you tomorrow, or whatever you like.
I really try to focus and try to keep what Ellie said in my head, and then try to look at Harold again.
Do a willpower roll.
I have an 05.
Very nice.
Wow.
Yeah, you're starting to notice seems to be helpful, but he also seems like you're thinking in your head that there ain't no mechanic on the way. He's not going to take you into town.
Yeah.
He's just trying to placate you. He's not looking as good as he did before. He's kind of playing kind of Yeah, you're starting to notice what Allie is, but he's still smiling at you. Only, like I said before, that smile goes from looking like a nice guy to looking a little sharky, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Charlie is completely enamored.
Yeah. I mean, he's got the beer. He's good looking. Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you take me into
should we
town
go
tomorrow, I
back?
guess that solves it.
Yeah.
He looks over at you and he says, "Oh, you can talk to Joanne." I mean, but
If that's all right with you.
I'm sorry, not Joanne. You can talk to Cordelia, but
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what we can do. I've called the mechanic and he's on the way.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
But maybe we can get a time of day when he's coming. If you said he's busy, maybe something else came up.
Well, he said sometime this afternoon.
oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, I'll be here soon.
I mean, all you guys have to do is chill, drink some beers, enjoy yourselves, and as soon as he's here, I'll come and get you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you two can carry the beer alone, and I'll head to the office.
It's whatever you like.
All right.
And he turns back to you, Charlie, and he gives you a look like, just you and me, baby.
All right. What kind of beer you bring?
It's Schlitz.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's coming from you, so it's going to be delicious.
Wow. All right. So the two of you are off heading towards the cabins. The rest of you have arrived at the cabins. Okay.
Phil, can I talk to you?
Yeah, sure.
I know we've had our differences, but at the
Yeah.
end of the day, we're friends out here, and we both want what's best for JoJo.
Yeah. What is JoJo? What's best for JoJo?
She's still figuring that out, but I'm really creeped out about this place, and I want you to take this seriously. Please.
I'm taking it very seriously. I get it. There's some weird shit. Really though, I need to know where JoJo stands.
All right. I'll let you know, but next time you see that Cordelia woman, just really try to see past her
Okay, right.
good
on.
looks or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'll let you know. And I
Let me
will
know.
tell you the truth about
Hit
JoJo.
me. Lay it on me.
She kind of still has feelings for you. But I've been telling her to back off. You can do better. But
Okay, so she wants to. Okay.
okay, just take this seriously. Don't throw this away.
I'm taking it seriously. That I'm I'm trying with JoJo, but she's just standoffish. I mean, I was getting different signs, but okay. So she still has feelings. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So you get that through your thick skull.
Got it. Through it. Just right through it.
Okay. And I
He turns
extend
over,
the
he's
hand.
like, he turns, shakes his hand, turns like, God damn it.
Phil, don't worry. When we get out of here, go to O'Malley's bar, have ourselves a drink. Nothing bad happens in O'Malley's bar.
Well, maybe you need to sober up and look after yourself before you can deserve someone like JoJo.
I'm sober. I'm doing well in all my classes. I just like to go out with my pal, throw some darts, have some beers. That's it.
Okay. I trust you to figure that out.
And you don't want to ruin a good drunk.
Excuse me?
Well,
I'll talk to
You wouldn't get it.
JoJo. I'll talk to JoJo. Okay.
Okay.
I'll talk to her. We'll figure it all out.
Sure.
And as
And I
you
will-
guys are sitting there chatting, you see Harold and Charlie walking along the path. She's giggling, she's smiling. He's talking to her. He's carrying a big old 24 pack of beers.
He's disgusting.
She is rebounding hard, right?
Yeah. Maybe she just deserves someone like me.
Oh. Hey, Harold, you're just dropping that off, right? Thanks.
Well,
Appreciate it.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, he can have a slits with us, slits with the chicks, right?
Yeah, he can take one to go.
I thought I'd drop this off right now if you guys wanted to start to party a little early.
You can drop it off. We're just warming up.
Yeah, just put it down on the ground, man.
Oh, we'll give you a few for the road.
He says, yeah, you don't need to do that. I says, just thought I'd be friendly and hang around with you for a bit. It's been quite a day for all y'all, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah, but you're on the clock, right? You don't drink on the clock.
I'm not on the clock. There's no clock. On the clock, 24 hours a day.
Oh, Harold.
I'm not going to drink whatever beer he's offering.
It's slits. It gives you the shits. It's
Yeah.
good.
They're in cans.
Still.
I'm gonna say it. You're old. Go away.
Right. Whoa. Sorry, Harold.
I'm old, huh? I look old to you.
Yeah, you look like you're in your 50s. You look like you put on enough weight to make Mrs. Puff from SpongeBob cringe.
You're a bit of a tough one, aren't you?
Yeah.
You ever do any boxing?
Yeah.
Ooh.
You ever do any arm wrestling?
Like,
Look, points right at Nate.
get him, Riedel.
How about this? I arm wrestle you, I win, you leave.
All right. Now, what do I get if I win?
You get to leave too.
Well, sometimes there's a lady at the end of for a prize.
You get her.
Charlie.
I don't know. What do you think about that, Charlie? You
I
wanna
mean,
come back and have some fun with me by ourselves, or
I wouldn't turn down an evening walk with a gentleman.
yeah, I can see that.
What are you doing?
How do you want to do this?
Well, there's a table right there. Let's do it.
Riedel, get the pocket sand.
So he goes over and pulls up the chair and he puts his arm on the table like this. Now, Rydell, his arm is somewhat flabby, doesn't look particularly muscular. Charlie, his arm is quite toned and looks quite muscular as he wraps his hand around.
The one thought Rydell's having is, how many showers am I going to have to take
His
before this goes
hand.
away?
His hand, Rydell, is bigger than you expected it to be, as his fingers sort of interlock with yours. Who's going to call it? He says.
Oh, I can. I saw Over the Top. I know how this works.
All right.
You're a little biased, don't you think?
I think both Nate and you. Nate has won a tournament on arm wrestling.
So while
How
this
about-
while this is happening, I think I walk over to JoJo. I was like, "Hey, you want to take a walk to the beach real quick?"
Well, I was just going to say JoJo
Damn
comes.
Oh, okay.
She's coming just now, so she's like,
Gotcha.
what the hell's going on?
Yeah, I meet her and I'm like, "Hey, do you want to walk to the beach for a second?" And
What's happening over there?
they're arm wrestling. I don't know, but I just really want to talk to you and kind of clear the air.
I give her a thumbs up. Like, do you?
Okay.
We can walk towards the beach if
Yeah.
if JoJo wants.
And he looks over at you and says, yeah, you guys don't need to go anywhere. It's not going to take more than a second.
Yeah, Riedel's going to cream this guy.
Oh,
Ready?
Lord.
Ready to roll.
Charlie.
2.
I want a fair
One.
fight here.
Wrestle.
Okay. Rydell, you push on the guy's arm and he goes, oh, geez. Oh my God, you're so strong. And put your hand down. I would like you to do a constitution roll to see if you are physically injured when he does it.
8.
Okay, you're not physically injured, but he pushed your arm down like you were up against an iron bar.
Easy there, Harold.
And he's just staring into your eyes. Like, so?
Well, you get to leave now, right?
Charlie? Shall we go for a walk?
Oh, yeah. Let me grab another beer. And so I grab one for him and one for me.
Rita, why don't you arm wrestle Charlie to make her stay? She loses, she stays.
I'm not going to arm wrestle, girl.
We're just
I'm going to head up to Charlie. I'm going to hold her hands and I'm going to say, hey, this guy is setting off my creepo-meter alarm. Just be careful.
I will. Don't.
Allie, you can come too if you want.
I'm okay. Maybe later. I'll give you 2 privacy.
Rydell is just staring at his hand.
I don't care too much about privacy. It's just, 3's better than 1.
Oh.
No offense, baby. He says that to you, Charlie.
Oh.
Charlie, do a willpower.
Yeah. Come on, don't tell me now that's a hard.
Yeah, that's coming across pretty creepy.
Yeah. Well,
What? What's
I
the
don't
matter?
know. I'm not really into
did you-
it.
Oh, she's having some woman problem.
Did you take his
It's
hand?
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you find it a little hard to let go because he's got a hold of you. He's not squeezing, but
Right, but
Hey, give her some space. She's feeling a little sick, okay?
what's the problem, ladies?
well, we haven't really been out for dinner or anything.
It was that beer.
They're famished.
Jesus Christ, I'm gonna have to feed you too.
It's usually customary.
He lets go of your hand.
I gotta back away.
Would your nose just start working, Charlie?
Shut up.
Oh, we'll see you later tonight, though. We don't want to impede your workday.
There's more work than I'm willing to put into this. Look, ladies, do you want to make out? Do you want to have sex?
Oh,
Yo,
I'm
come
gonna
on.
wait for the boys to react first.
Yeah, I immediately would just push him. Back the fuck up, man.
Oh,
Gotta
gonna be like
ease
that.
in. You
I
gotta
thought you
ease
guys
into
were
the
into
dock, man.
aren't you guys into my sister? She's waiting for you.
Oh yeah, she's pretty cool, but why don't you just do us all a favor and take a hike?
Yeah, just leave the beer and
I'm gonna take Charlie by the hand and take her into the cabin.
I'm gonna have to pass on that one there, Harold.
Why don't you guys
Sorry.
do psychology rolls?
Okay.
We're all good.
Oh. That's bad.
A hard 04 out of
Well.
10.
nope.
05.
The creep factor is going through the roof. This isn't just some dude that's annoyed at this point. This is the kind of boyfriend that beats his girlfriend. This is escalating to the point where he looks like he's trying to figure out how to swing this, and he's tired of the nice way.
All right. As I get into the cabin, I'm going to grip the handle of the cast iron pan.
He reaches back to get his cabin keys, and he's like, "What the fuck?"
Listen, man, you need to just go on. We don't need anything else here. You brought us the beer. That's kind of repayment for a shitty experience.
You
that
need to
we've
go.
had.
You need to go see my sister, Phil.
I don't need to go. No, listen.
Yeah, that's your job in this whole thing. Go to the house. Do what you need to do with my sister.
What do you mean job?
How are you
I'm
talking?
gonna whisper to Phil.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Phil, I've got a fencing foil in the cabin.
Oh yeah.
I'm clutching the frying pan behind my back.
I'm starting to hold that screwdriver in my pocket.
Fucking do it, man.
All right, I'm gonna go get my bush light, if you know what I mean.
Harold, listen, I get it. Okay. 3 bunch of college kids rode in. 3 girls. You thought, you could get lucky this weekend, but just it's not happening. Just go on. Leave us be.
Look. The 3 of you guys are kind of cool dudes. You guys are fairly strong. I mean, Rydell, you're stronger than you think you are, but I'm just stronger. And you're good looking. You got good genes. You got good, physical makeup. You're intelligent. You're smart people. Go fuck my sister.
Well,
We roll some wisdom.
This
Well, now that
This
you
is
mention
just-
it, I don't.
This is taking a turn for the weird, man. I mean,
His sister is just like him.
Oh.
I've seen it. Ellie is completely right.
Okay, fine. We can do this the easy way, or we can do it the hard way.
Or we can do it though. We're gonna kick your ass right here in fucking now way.
yeah.
You guys the hard way.
What's the hard way?
You don't want to know the hard way.
I'm
Hard
backing
way.
off.
Joanne, what are you doing?
I'm backing off. I'm not one for violence. So
Which way are you backing off? Down the road, or back to alley in the cabin?
back to our cabin. Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Charlie?
I've dug out my mace, little spray mace.
Okay. But you're standing there?
Yeah.
And dudes, I saw Phil take off his shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nate must go.
Phyllis stepped up.
You guys are between Harold and the girls, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we're charmed anymore.
Harold takes a step back with a smile on his face, and he sort of turns a little bit towards the main area of the camp, and he goes, "Tank!"
Oh.
What?
And then he turns back and looks at you, and you start to hear this noise off in the distance. It sounds like waves crashing, water flowing, and suddenly, coming around the clubhouse, is what looks like a wave of water, bubbling and foaming and barreling down between the cabins, heading right towards you. And it gets just close enough. I mean, it's still 30 feet away from you, but you can see that those aren't bubbles all over it. They're eyeballs and little sucker mouths and everything else. Go ahead and do a sanity roll.
Yeah.
Hot one.
Oh, odd one as well.
Ought to.
High five.
17.
I just passed.
Well, you all passed.
No,
Yeah.
I
Oh.
did not.
Charlie.
There's always one.
Yeah, I didn't say anything. I was
Um,
like, sad.
Charlie, I would like all of you to do intelligence rolls.
Yeah, that I failed.
Got a cool
Holy
98.
crap! I failed. I had an 80 and I rolled an 80.
I wrote 90 over 70.
Well, you
80
wanted
of
to
80.
fail.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm getting so
I
lucky.
did good.
If you didn't fail, okay. I want you all to roll 1d8. But if you didn't fail, if you passed your second sanity, your intelligence roll, then you know what's coming. So you are completely aware, and you're going to take some serious sanity. I mean, you're going to take an indirect.
So D8 if we failed our intelligence roll?
Yeah.
Okay.
What if you passed it?
If you passed it, I want you to do it, but I'm going to give you indefinite insanity.
Okay.
Seven. Oh, 7.
Wow, 7.
I rolled a 7 as well.
777.
Wow.
Jesus, Murphy.
6.
I'm
Or
confused.
and insanity.
If we pass a sanity check, we still have to roll.
You're rolling in intelligence to see if
Okay,
you
I
comprehend what you're
succeeded.
saying. Okay, so you also succeed.
7.
All right.
Jeez.
So Jojo is the only one that only got 4. So Jojo, you were in complete control of yourself. You see this gigantic amoeba thing heading in your direction. And what do you want to do?
I scream and run towards. I mean, Ellie is still in the house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I try to get her and then get away from the thing.
Okay.
Or
Let's.
is it too fast to run away from?
You don't have that. You don't have that understanding yet. But
Okay.
the way it's flowing, it's like water. But it doesn't act like water. It acts like a gigantic amoeba thing.
Wish we had that bucket.
Oh, let's see. Allie, what happens to you in addition to taking that much sanity damage? You back into the cabin and you move back and sit down on the end of the bed, and you can't quite remember what happened after you found the hand. You remember the cops were supposed to come, but you can't quite remember if they did. And you don't remember anything that happened after that. You have amnesia.
I'm just holding the frying pan. Am I cooking now?
No, you're sitting on the bed. You don't know how you got there.
Yeah, I've got the frying pan.
Phil, you pass out. So you just drop there on the ground when you see this thing. Nate, Nate, you see this thing coming, and you realize that in every direction that you're looking, there are monsters. There are things coming out of the trees. They're coming out of the water. They're climbing on the roofs. You're completely freaking out. You're hallucinating. Charlie.
Yeah.
Charlie, you become hysterical. And that hysteria is it's filthy. You think that there are bugs crawling under your skin and all over you, and you are just freaking out.
Scratching.
Who did I miss? Anybody? Rydell?
Yep.
And you also passed. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I passed
right.
them.
So for you, you are pretty familiar with college pranks. You've pulled a few yourself. They're all doing this to you. This has all been a setup. They are trying to freak you out, and you're pissed at it. You're paranoid. They're all
This is
in
the
on it.
second time I've gone paranoia.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Jojo, you jump down onto the ground and you just start running like hell. You see behind you this blob-like creature come flowing up, and it seems to almost split where Harold is standing and flow around him. And you can see it develop like tentacles or ropey sort of things. And each one of them flies down and sort of grabs one of your friends. And you see each of them sort of lifted into the air and pulled inside this blob-like creature. They seem to be entombed in bubbles inside of the thing. And the last thing that you hear and see at that moment is you see Harold, and he says, yeah, take him to the house, Tank. We can get her later.
Mm-hmm.
Did they get Ellie as well?
They got all of them, yeah. Allie as well. It flowed into the room, grabbed her, and pulled her out. So all five of you, you've become unaware. You aren't in your right minds at the moment. You're either asleep or you're crazy or you're just screaming. Mm-hmm. And you've been picked up and placed into little bubbles inside this thing. And you sort of have vague recollections of almost flying over the ground at a high speed, heading towards the house. And you can see Cordelia standing on the porch as this thing brings you inside. It's a very strange sort of feeling, as if you're being carried and moved, but you're manipulated so that you go inside. And after a few moments, everything is pretty dark, and you find yourself sort of, the feeling is kind of like being coughed out onto a dirt floor, and somebody taking a hold of you. And we'll get back to you in a moment. Joanne, you are running. You've reached the edge of the woods. Where do you want to go?
Do I roughly remember the road that we came from?
You think that the road would be to your left. You'd have to make your way through the woods, but you should come out on the road.
Okay, so how late is it at this time?
It's probably going on 5 o'clock, so the sun's still,
okay.
You know, there's a lot of light left.
Yeah, I'll try to find civilization.
Okay.
Help.
After you stumble around in the woods, you eventually find yourself back out on the road. Now, you're pretty sure that Camp Sunny is just up the road. So you know you don't want to go in that direction. You want to go in the other direction. Go ahead and give me a luck roll.
55. That is a success.
Excellent. So as you're running along, you're keeping you're just, now it's all instinct, you know. You're keeping your ears and your eyes open. And when you start to hear what sounds like water flowing, you immediately dive into the bushes and you hide yourself. And you hear the sound of water rushing, getting louder, and then it's getting softer again. It's whatever it is going in the other direction. And then after you've been quiet for a while, you run on a little bit farther. And this goes on for a few hours into the dark. You finally, it starts to where you can't really hear it anymore, and you think that you've gotten away, and you're just running along the road. You do find that you're now disheveled. Your clothes are dirty. You're exhausted. You've split like a side hole in your shoe, and you're stumbling along. And after a couple more hours, all of a sudden up the road, you see lights, and it's the sheriff. He comes driving up and he sees you, and he stops his car and he gets out and he says, "Dear God, what are you doing out here, young lady?"
Something kidnapped my friends at the camp. There's.
What do you mean something kidnapped your friends? Something took your friends?
I try to gather myself. It's something happened, and you really need to go and check it out. It's terrible.
All right. Why don't you get in the back? I've got some water bottles.
I'm not thirsty.
Well, hop in, and I've got a shotgun. We'll go see what's going on.
Okay. Does he? I mean, I was present when they read the note.
Mm-hmm.
So about the sheriff maybe being in on it. Can I do a psychology to check out how he's reacting? An 06.
6.
That is, I have psychology 50. That's an extreme.
Do you get into the car first?
I'm on my way of getting into it, I would say.
You had a friend in high school, Mark, who was in the drama club. And Mark really wanted to be a good actor, but the problem was that whenever he acted, he went just a little too far. He was just a little too friendly when he wanted to be friendly, a little too angry when he wanted. Sheriff seems like Mark, like his willingness to be friendly and help and to calm you down is entirely an act.
Okay.
Of course, he's also got a gun and a car, and you're there. So, what to do?
Okay. Yeah. So when I get to the door, I guess it's a large car. I need to hop up, and I'll try to kick with both feet the door against him when he's trying to close it, and to stagger him or something like that.
Okay, so you're getting into the back seat.
Yeah, but I'm not closing the car directly.
Okay, but he comes to close the car door, and as he's closing it, you're going to kick it so that he sort of flies back.
Ideally, before he grabs the handle and gets a good grip on it, so that.
Right. Okay, we'll call that a maneuver.
Okay.
So do fighting brawl.
25. Let's see where we go here. That's a 93. So yeah,
That's too bad because I got an 81. So I think in that case, as you do that, it sort of pushes him back, and then he very quickly pushes back and slams the door closed with you inside. And the doors are locked. You can't undo them from the inside. And he's like, "Miss, there's nothing to worry about. You're going to be fine." And he gets in the car and he drives you back to Camp Sunny.
Yeah.
To your horror, you see Harold standing there, waves like this as the sheriff comes up. And they talk for a moment. You hear him say to the sheriff, "Well, yeah, Sheriff, I think I can handle her myself. You probably don't want to be around with Tank." And the sheriff says, "No." And he says, "I will get in my car and go." And basically he wrestles you out of the
I'm screaming, he's killing people, he's killing people.
And he looks at you and he says, "We're not killing people." And Harold takes a hold of you. Now he looks quite a bit more ugly, and he's like, "Girl, we're not killing you. What the hell are you talking about?" And
I'm not talking
gets
to
a
him.
hold of you. If he has to pick you up and put you over his shoulder. And the sheriff leaves and he takes you to the house. And as you are coming up to the house, you can hear that watery sort of sound as this monstrous amoeba thing is moving away from their house and moving back down towards the clubhouse. And he takes you inside, and you can see Cordelia's there, and he says, "Well, I got her." And he takes you through the living room. It looks kind of like a nice living room. Takes you through the living room to a little door by the stairs. He opens it, and there's a dark stairway going down. And as he takes you down the stairs, You notice all of your friends are chained to the wall, and he chains you to the wall. And what happens then, over the course of the next few days, is all of you are raped multiple times. The women by Harold, and the women, the men are forced to have sex with Cordelia. And then at some point, you are all, and that's how you end your life. And that's the end of the story. So, rather gruesome,
Harold-
horrible end.
Yeah.
Lied to us?
Freaking Harold liar.
So,
Yeah, that's really the best that he did. Yeah.
so
Mhm.
here's the story. William, their father, was a Deep One hybrid. And they have a colony out in the middle of Lake Superior at the bottom. But he liked living in the human world, so he lived out here, and eventually he married. Eventually he had 2 children, Cordelia and Harold. And this was actually about 90 years ago. And because they had very long lives. Eventually, William's wife wanted to go into the sea, into the lake, and William wanted to go with her. So they left the place to their kids. They figured out all the legal things they needed to do that. So now, for the last 90 years or so, Harold and Cordelia have been running the place. And in the last 10 years or so, they've gotten really kind of bored. They're really thinking that they would like to go back, but it would be a shame to just leave the place to rot. So they need heirs. They figured they could get somebody pregnant, or have one of you get Cordelia pregnant, have some more hybrid babies, raise them to take care of the place. And that's what their plan was all along for college students. Now, when you arrived that first night, they have a pet Shoggoth named Tank. And Tank lives in the swimming pool. And that's why they wouldn't want you to go swimming. It was Tank that you encountered in the woods. He was going for a dip in the ocean and had just flowed by before you got there. But the fun thing about Tank is bored too. Tank has been here for a long time. He's very bored. He's seen so many people come and go that he's developed a kind of human envy. So at night, when everybody is asleep and nobody knows what he's up to, he slips through the drain into the clubhouse, and he forms himself into multiple people, and he parties with himself for a few hours. So when you showed up and you made a noise, he just collapsed and went down the drain and turned everything off on the way. And that's what was going on inside there. What's his name? Clark Hayden got a little too close in his research, and Tank ate him. The problem is that Hayden had on an elder sign ring. And it's kind of funny because it comes up in the Call of Cthulhu rulebook that the elder sign wards off mythos creatures, but not to any great distance. So he was protected by the ring for about that much. So his hand and the ring got coughed up, but the rest of him got dissolved. And at some point, Derek Wares had been in the woods and seen Tank and went stark raving bananas.
Yeah.
They have been here for 100 years, so everybody in town knows them. They don't all know what's going on, but the sheriff does. And he's obviously being compensated in some means by them. And Corrine, the old lady, she's completely mesmerized by them. They've got this ability where they can give off pheromones, and that's why the men found her beautiful and the women found him beautiful until the pheromones started wearing off. And then you started to see what they really look like, which is not very attractive.
Yeah.
And that's everything that was going on. Cool.
Nailed it.
Nice.
So all we had to do was have sex, and we would have lived.
Yeah, he probably would have just let you go.
Yeah.
As long as you didn't figure anything out.
Thanks, Allie. Thanks for
You're welcome.
talking.
We should have hit him first before he yelled for tank.
I was ready to.
He was pretty damn strong because he was part
Yeah.
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 deep one. Our players included Alex Sun, Kent Blue, Keith Craig, Theo Martinez, Jan Schlegel, and Dan DePaulis, with myself as the keeper of the secrets. We have a Discord server where you can chat with our other members. You can set up private games and learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. If you'd like to help support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 or $2 a month helps us a lot. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.